Over on plots I don't care about, some bald guy is selling his house.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Hello, and welcome to the 6th episode of the 4th season of Your Mom's Pahdcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Beverly,
And I'm Amy.
and we're the moms of Your Mom's Pahdcast.
And today we're joining our daughters to talk about Degrassi Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8, Time Stands Still, Parts 1 and 2.
Awesome.
Rosa-
Hi, moms.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, daughters.
We are really excited for this. We've
We
been planning
are.
this since like season 3, and the thought process behind it was, Avis and I definitely didn't have to consider school shootings the way that kids do now. And our moms didn't have to the way that moms do now. But when we started school, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And then in 1999, Columbine happened, and suddenly we lived in a world where that could happen. And I thought, we were the first generation to ever have to really consider it as a possibility. Our moms were the first round of moms, too.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, this is the first ever school shooting episode of anything.
Right.
And so we wanted to have you guys on.
It's so cool.
I was 16 when this came out. Avis, you were how old?
I was 10.
Oh, that's right. I forget how much younger than
Younger
you are.
I am. I'm younger than you, Caroline. It's kind of like I forget about it because now we're, adults. But when you're kids, it definitely, those years mean.
Right. Like I could have
Like
babysat you.
You totally could have babysat me and we would have rocked it. Okay.
We would have been watching Degrassi.
You'd have been like, oh, you're on game? And I would have been, yes, I am. Turn it on. Let's do this.
Probably would have skipped the gonorrhea episode. I was a good babysitter.
Probably best not to talk about social diseases at 10. But yeah, no, I was 10. And I do remember this episode. I think I've talked about I was watching Degrassi before I probably should have been.
Just thinking that, Avis, like you saw these episodes at 10.
Yeah, because at 12, anytime we had to go somewhere on a Friday, because for a while there were episodes airing on Fridays.
Yeah, it was every Friday.
I was watching it wherever we went. Like, I don't care that you guys have a TV. Give me I'm commandeering this from any kid that's in there, and I'm watching Degrassi.
Yeah, were you guys aware of our Degrassi-ness at the time?
I don't think I was, except you talked about a teacher who made you watch it.
That was the 80s one when I was in junior high. Yeah, we watched it in home ec. I can't sew a button, but I can sing you the Degrassi junior high theme song from memory.
No, I don't think I knew that, Avis, especially since you guys were...
Avis is in trouble.
My dad used to call it Degrasies.
I remember.
Yeah, Dad used to call it Degrasies. Like, you watching Degrasies? Like, yes, Dad. But that was like later on. I was like a teenager by that time, like an early teenager.
And that's what I was going to say. Maybe I didn't realize the content of it. Like, I remember the Degrassi, and I remember you guys watching the show, but I didn't
You know what
realize
else I'm wondering?
I made my sister watch it.
Is this one of the first shows focused on teenagers like that led to Gossip Girl and Felicity, and I don't know.
I
never
mean, yes
watched
and
any of them.
no. I think this is a very different show from Gossip Girl or Felicity. And I mean, you had Dawson's Creek before that.
Beverly Hills 90210, Mom.
I was thinking that's the one for
Oh,
me.
that's right.
Yeah,
But I
I
think
watched
Mom
that.
loved that. Yeah,
I already had kids by the time that aired.
But
Or
this was
kid.
a definitely, it was a very different approach to
Yeah.
teen media
yes,
than anything else.
Yes.
It was especially like at this point in its lifespan, it was much
And
more
for the
focused on
age.
being educational
Mm-hmm.
than
age group,
entertainment.
too.
And I mean, it was
Right.
both, but it was educational. It dealt with a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Abusive parents, parents with like alcoholism,
Mhm.
self-harm,
yeah, domestic abuse, and just like
sexual
partner,
assault.
partner violence. But also, it's like it is educational, but it does seek to be like you have resources. Every instance where there's an issue, and I think a little bit happens in this episode where they're just like, you can talk to someone, you can take it outside of yourself, because it's not just, oh, here's a solution, but it's like, what do you do when you need someone to talk to and you need, like, who do you talk to, etc. And I feel like they do a lot of that in the show
I
as
think
well.
that was the next episode, which I started watching, and I was really annoyed that they were like, okay, we've set aside a day for this.
Yeah.
Like, these are kids that have gone through like
yeah.
Trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give
Definitely.
you a day, and we're gonna anything you want to do to say about it, you can talk about it today. Well,
and we've talked about before, Avis and I, a lot, really, that like that's one of the things that's frustrating about the Degrassi like setup is that you'll come back to storylines sometimes, but in a typical drama, like there's 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 storylines that are running for several episodes.
Yes.
And you see them play out over several episodes. And with Degrassi, like this is the episode about Paige's rape. This is the episode about the school shooting.
This is about, and you like remember this like sort of vibes, like you have to kind of keep, and like they are episodic, they stand alone, but there are definitely a lot of episodes that like how I know in preparation for this episode, Caroline said there were episodes you could watch that like support this episode that will help in your understanding, but really you don't need them.
Right.
You can go in cold and still have a very good understanding of what's happening because they still try to set it up for you, and inform you of things that happened when you weren't watching, or maybe you just are tuning in for this episode. So they really do try to like remind you of like, oh, remember when Ellie's mom burned down the house because she felt like
yes, it was like 2 episodes ago, and it was very
and
dramatic.
it was very dramatic.
Haven't you?
So they had something super traumatic 2 episodes before this.
Yeah,
it just happened to one person though, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
she's
Ellie's
the worst
trauma.
anyway. We
this
don't
was
care.
traumatic for me. Like I was sitting there like,
yeah, no, I mean there's a
like,
lot
oh
of Degrassi that's traumatic, especially the first season's a lot more mellow, and then
Mm-hmm.
you get into season 2 and it's it's varying degrees, and sometimes it's
right.
Marco is struggling with coming out, and is that as traumatic as a school shooting? Probably not, but that's a struggle that kids are having, and
Mm-hmm.
it covers heavy topics almost every week after the first season.
And it's like you kind
like
yeah.
Wasn't it the first episode where Emma
Yes, the
Gets
first
meets
episode is really
almost
intense.
kidnapped in Yellowknife. An internet predator, yeah.
Hotel with it.
Yeah. So, but then the episode after that is Ashley's running for school president, and her stepbrother Toby convinces his friend to run a joke campaign
and
to piss her
he's
off.
ruining her life. Oh my god.
they do the heavy and then they do a light one to kind of cool things off, maybe. And
season one, other than that premiere and the
Mhm.
finale, which does have like a teenager taking ecstasy and blowing up her whole life.
A B D C,
But like in
ABCDE.
between, it's like Emma's first period and our
Yeah.
Ashley and Jimmy ready to have sex.
Coming of
Guest
age
starring
sort
Sue
of
Johansson.
vibes.
May she rest in peace.
R.I.P. Sue Johansson. It's like it's definitely more
Do
coming
you see
of
we
age.
lost Dr. Ruth
vibes.
too?
Yeah.
So Sex in Heaven is real fire now, but not like STI burning fire because it's also really fucking safe.
Really safe. Really, really safe. No. No, R.I.P. to two legends. I'm just like it. You threw me off track with the sex thing, Caroline.
I'm sorry. I know she was never on Degrassi, but I think that Dr. Ruth gets a nod as well.
No, not that. My trains, if I don't get on them, they leave me. That's what happens with my thoughts.
We were
So
talking
she
about
was
how
on one train and now she's on the sex train.
Yes. I'm on the sex train and I didn't recall making a transfer. It just happened. And now I'm here.
baby, when you're with me, it's bound to happen.
Oh my gosh. My mother is here. No, it's really it's definitely a show that in the beginning tries to take its time because their kids are young. But then at this point they're like, you guys are like 16 years old. We can 16, 17. We can throw whatever we want at you hoes. And like
You're gonna
you're gonna
take
take
it.
it. You're gonna take it. And honestly, compared to the later seasons, this is relatively tame to like
Yeah, the later seasons have
Oh,
like
wow.
one girl has a best friend die, gets cancer, gets pregnant, loses the baby. Oh, and her parents get divorced and her mom starts dating her boyfriend's dad, and then they get
Mhm.
married, so she has to break up with him because now he's her stepbrother. That's one character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And she's also in like a really like unhealthy at varying points relationship with a very intense and melodramatic young man.
He crashes
who
a hearse
crashes
for
a
her.
hearse for her. So there's a lot of emotional damage for this one character, and they're like, we're not gonna spread it out. We're not gonna spread it out at all. So but at this point
This is tame.
This is tame, but this is the only like this
Wow.
is one of 3 shootings, I think, in the history of the show. 3?
I can't
They
keep.
put these kids through some stuff. I'll tell you
They
that.
put these
Yeah,
kids
they
through
do.
everything.
They do.
Degrassi is cursed.
It's cursed. You never would have sent your kids there.
Right. Shame on the
we-
parents that move into that district.
Are we ready to transition like into talking about the episode?
We still have to do our poem?
Yes, we have to do the poems. So we split it up, guys. You both have like a chunk of poem, and then Miss Bev, you've got a large chunk of summary, but we can also switch that around if you'd rather, because I know you did the intro and that's a large chunk too.
I can read it.
All right.
It's fine.
Mom, do you feel okay about that, or are you sad
Yep.
because you don't have enough lines?
No, I'm
Because there's
fine.
no small parts, only small actors.
Okay.
All right. So, Miss Bev, if you want to start us off with the beginning of that poem there, and then when my mom finishes it, you can come in with your chunk of the summary.
Roses are red, whack your brain. Victory is sweet, but followed by pain.
So Rick grabs a gun filled with rage and testosterone. Also in this episode, Joey sells his home.
Things still aren't great for Rick, but they are looking up. He's found 2 good friends in Emma and Toby, and though he's hesitant when Jimmy joins the Whack Your Brain team, the 2 find common ground, and Jimmy goes from foe to protector, and maybe even friend. But when Spinner and Jay use the lightning round to recreate the prom scene from Carrie, Rick hits his breaking point and returns to Degrassi with a gun and a kill list.
Over on plots I don't care about, some bald guy is selling his house.
I felt guilty with how much
why I
fun I
don't-
had
True.
recording this script. Or
Why
writing
I
this
don't
script.
read it ahead of time so I can react. Like what over plots I don't care about, some bald guy selling it.
That was like too. Like they actually put that storyline with this episode. Like,
Wasn't that weird?
So this
yeah,
is
like,
perfect
what's
because
happening?
we typically start with the B plot, and this is
Yeah. It's out of place because they could have done so many other things.
To catch you guys up, Joey and Caitlin, the lady who buys his house anonymously, which, by the way, as a realtor, that's not a fucking thing.
Caroline has, Realtor Corner with Caroline. Can you please briefly tell us why that's not a thing? Because I always, if it's coming out of Caitlin's mouth, I'm like, I call bullshit.
Well,
but like,
because
I
an
would like to
offer-
know
I mean-
logistically.
I only know how you do it in Vermont, but like, and if you submit an offer, it's a contract. It's called a purchase and sale contract.
Mhm.
And you sign it when you submit it. And then if it's accepted, the seller signs it as well. And then boom, it's a legally binding contract.
Mhm.
She could have purchased it under like a shell corporation if she had one or something like that. I don't know exactly what a shell corporation is, but I assume that she could, or like her business if she's incorporated in some way. But like, you don't just have anonymous offers. Also, you don't, like, as a realtor, I can't accept an offer on your behalf.
Yeah.
I have to bring that offer to you
Ooh, that's a
before
great point. Yeah, there was haggling. There was
Yeah.
I can haggle on your
But then
behalf, but I've
she's
talked
like,
with you about it
yeah,
first.
I've-
You know, like
right. I didn't even think about that part.
But also, did you not hear me say the part about plots I don't care about?
yeah, we still have to talk about it.
No, I know, but I have like no interest in Caitlin, no interest in the other chick.
Thank you,
I-
Amy,
like,
because I
no.
every care about them either. Every
Mm-mm.
time
We care about
we don't-
Sydney.
we care about Sydney.
Sydney.
Sydney is secretly my crush, Mom. I have a Degrassi crush, and like we say, I'm only obviously I'm only looking at the adults. Sydney's hot, and
Sydney's
Joey
lovely.
Joey like dropped the ball on that. Okay, like
She's
But
got her
Sydney,
life
she can do
together.
better. She is hot.
can do
and
so much
She
better.
can do so much
Mhm.
better. She
And
can
he-
do.
Oh my
I
gosh,
was
it's
like, I think at this point I was like, why is this kid calling Greg's dad is super dramatic. Why does he call
Craig.
him Joey?
Craig.
I know. I know. My notes.
But your notes say
Oh,
Greg. Okay.
Your notes say
all right,
Greg.
We're good. I love it.
So his name is Greg. No, it's very much like, why do we care about these people when some real stuff is going down just down the street at the school?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there was a place like where it was really jarring, and I don't
Mhm.
remember where it was, but it might have been like right after the shooting. Then you're in this office with Caitlin and Sydney or something. Or
Right after this shooting, you're like on a bench with Joey and Caitlin, and he's confronting her
Okay.
about buying his house. I was just letting you.
Yes.
I know that just tells me that
Yes.
you know too much about this show. But it was, and then we're like, we have to get Degrassi,
What gave
and
you the first ideas that we knew too much about this show?
I literally have
We
made
read
it my
about
life's
my
work
life,
to talk
right?
about this show. I'm going to Tennessee about Degrassi. Like,
about Degrassi, and we're gonna get
Tennessee.
Degrassi so hard. No, it's very much not like, the beats are weird in this episode because at least they usually do a better job of making it seem like, oh, these are kind of adjacent, related, but it's just like, oh, we brought Caitlin back from wherever the fuck she was, and let's just
So she was that man's. I didn't see the
they were like high school sweethearts. They
it's
were
like a
supposed
will
to be
they, won't
engaged.
they on off.
And then he cheats on her over the summer with Tessa Campanelli, which he shouted out to Tessa Campanelli.
Yeah,
Did
in
you
this
catch
episode,
it, Avis?
I did.
Um,
Show Tessa Campanelli at my door.
And
Yeah.
so they broke up, and then they've kind of been will they, won't theying since Degrassi: The Next Generation
Since
started.
92, so yeah, 92
No,
is
I
when
think they
that
took a long break after
they
Tessa
did. So
Campanelli.
the schools out events were 1992, and
And
then
then
they've had
the
like an
10-year
estrangement.
reunion.
Yeah, they've had an
Wait.
estrangement.
okay, Joey and who?
Joey and
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Oh, okay.
Caitlin, yeah, they've been. There's a history there.
the one with the short hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we
Yeah.
care. Like
she
she's
comes back from wherever the fuck and
yes.
kisses him on at his
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She was
Yeah.
they
away
was
on
kissing
a
hard. They were kissing hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
she was
no,
away
okay.
on a mission reporting on like something or other
I
that I
thought
don't
she
really
said
care
Haiti.
about.
Did she say
Haiti,
Haiti?
Yeah, she's
yeah.
been reporting on AIDS. She's
AIDS,
a
thank
reporter and
you.
she's been
She's
going
been
around the
reporting on
world
AIDS.
right after they started getting serious again. And she almost like dropped her career for him, even though he didn't want her to. He was like, it's 9 months, go do your job.
Yeah.
I'll be here when you get back. But now she's back from Haiti. Last we heard she was in Thailand.
She sent a very awful birthday video for Craig from Thailand. She's it's like she's the last thing this episode needs.
You know it.
No. The last thing this episode needs is that principal. I've got
Yeah.
big
Oh my
feelings about that.
gosh. Yeah. Like, he could have stopped this.
He's on my
I
list.
think.
He's on
Yeah,
my
like
list.
he could at least did something about the conflict, which he knew about.
Right, and he was sort of like, you keep coming to me about this, and I keep telling you
the
go
same.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. He was worried about winning the contest. The whack.
Yeah,
Whack-a-mole.
It's well, and did either of you watch the like homework episodes, or did you just start blind with this episode? Okay.
Yeah.
So real quick backstory. In season 3, Rick is dating this girl, Terry. He's abusive. They break up. Year goes on. It's coming towards an end. She's lonely, so they start talking again. They go to a park with the whole gang, and they go off. She ends up in a coma. And Rick has been gone since then, and now he's back.
And also, she ended up in a coma, and we don't see her again. It's not like we have a coma.
We see her once.
We see her once following that, but she gets black holed after that. She's no longer in the show following season 3.
Did he have something to do with her being in the coma?
So they get into an argument, and she's trying to leave, and he's holding her arms.
He like kind of shoves her, like lets her go.
He
and
lets
she's
her
thrashing
go,
around, and she
falls
back.
and hits her head on a
And
cinder
hits-
block
yeah,
because
cinder
for some
block.
reason they're in this like
They're just a field of cinder blocks. Everybody in the neighborhood, in the community, they come to discard their perfectly intact cinder blocks in this field.
It's the weird. It's just.
It's like the strangest thing. But yes, it's like a thrashing sort of match.
So
and
like
the force of him letting her go, but she was thrashing because he grabbed her. So
yeah,
it
he had her wrist. She's pulling.
Yeah.
He lets go. She falls, hits her head, coma.
She's comatized.
So yes, like it was his fault, but he didn't like beat her into a coma.
He didn't beat her into a
but
coma.
He had slapped her around a little already.
Yes, he has a very poor temper. You can tell he's not very well like adjusted socially. So
Very
he takes
controlling.
rejection like not
You
well
can tell
at all.
He's kind of an incel, isn't he?
Well, we call his friend Toby a baby incel. Like they give Toby
because
baby
they
incel
make Toby
vibes.
an incel
So
when
yes,
it suits them.
they give Rick similar vibe. Like they bond over their baby incel skills.
So the last episode
leading up to
they
this,
bonded over like Rick was like, here's my list of who the hottest girls in Degrassi are. And he was like, what's your list, Toby? And he was like, I don't know, I'd have to put it together. And then they bond over their list. And then they make a bet to see who can get Emma to kiss them by the end of the day. And Toby wins, but then is like, he tells Emma it's a bet to begin with. And then he wins. And then he's like, ha, fuck you, Rick, you're a loser. And so then Emma is like, Rick, so you don't feel lonely, and kisses Rick too.
Yeah.
Which is a bad idea.
Emma, the great equalizer. She
Two
just has
episodes
to be that
prior, Emma had launched an anti-bullying campaign or an anti-violence campaign. You guys should have done the homework.
So
but
that's
it's
a
fine.
big component of why Emma's role in this episode is so funny, because she literally was on the side of, the girl Alex and Jay, the guy, the school president,
the ones that set up the
vice
paint.
president, the ones who set up the paint, and the guy in the hat. They were all hanging out 2 episodes ago. And Emma was tripping Rick in public spaces and stuff, and just being like leading the charge against him, and made like a ribbon campaign against violence against, and it's all about Rick. And then Emma decides that it's gone too far and she shuts it down. But Emma is the reason that the whole school has like put a target on Rick's back, and that he's getting mercilessly like teased by the, like, you know, books being thrown down, just things that like
Yeah, see, they threw him in the trash can in the beginning and all.
Right.
those are Terry's friends. They definitely feel more energized because the school is on a mission against Rick. But it all started with
Rick
Emma.
was dumb. Why do you think the girl won him then? What? It's like the dumb
Because
people.
Rick
Like,
Rick is not
He has no good social. He does not read social cues, and like he has a different set of understanding with social cues.
Yeah, he is a guy. He's an incel. He's a guy who immediately fuck zones you the minute you're nice to him.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, I feel for Emma in this situation, but Emma also,
you don't have to hit him back in the alley behind the dot, but you also don't have to kiss him.
You don't have to kiss him. You don't have to be like, we need you.
You can be a teammate
you are
with
the
him
one who
without...
you need to figure it out, because we need you. We won't win without you. Like, there's a way to be like his friend without making him think that like you're paying
I don't think
special
that's fair.
attention
I don't think
to
that's
him.
fair at all. I think a lot of that was Emma being Emma. The only place where I fault Emma is when she kisses him, because it's just so fucking weird.
Okay, that's weird, but I think Emma's not that nice though. Even when she's being encouraging, she's never really like, even to Toby, she's not that nice.
Emma makes a lot of bad decisions, I think, and that may be because
in the like 2 episodes of Degrassi you've seen.
Yeah.
Emma makes a slew of bad decisions. She really does, though. It's like this episode, I think she's laying low, but you forget that like the only reason Rick is being like friendly with her is because she shut down the whole campaign that she started against him, and then wants to like smear it over with like nice guy politics, when that's really just Emma. She wants you to think that she's the nice guy, but it's all about what you think of her versus what she actually is. She likes people to think she's the good person and the encouraging person. But the moment that you're like, oh no, you're misconstruing where I'm coming from, when Rick tries to kiss her, or when Rick kisses her, she's like, I pitied you. Get it? Like, she's harsh.
Yeah, that was I did not like her.
Like, I pitied you.
I thought that, right.
Get a
she
clue.
said that, like, you ain't had to
and
go
she
that
does
far.
She does not deserve for Rick to have latched onto her the way that he has.
No,
and
Rick
she does not deserve to be held at gunpoint. Rick does need to get a
clue, but she understands what tact
But Emma
is.
still sucks.
She sucks. Like, she has no regard for his feelings, when that is all she was saying in this whole
like, she could have just been like, no, Rick, we are friends.
Yeah, that's right. There's a way to say that.
And be firm about it.
Yeah,
like, I am having fun doing this with you.
Yeah, like, I wanted to encourage you because I know that you're better than this, and I didn't want you to throw away the competition that you really care about because of some bully. Like, that's what and if she had said some semblance of that versus like what it was, she was embarrassed when there was 2 people in the background. Who are you embarrassed by? She is just, once again, it's that whole thing. There was a episode earlier this season where a friend of hers, who is like
dorky
at like the worst, and she's like, she sees this dorky girl getting a crush on a boy that she used to date, so she pretends to still be interested in the guy so that he won't like get involved with the dorky girl, because she's like, what will people think of me if they get involved? She is very much like, I care about what people think.
Yeah, you can hate Emma.
She sucks.
She's the worst.
She really sucks.
And she plays a really big
slander
role.
Podcast.
I think we uncovered it during the season about like what like social like like she waged a social war on Rick in a way that wasn't on that scale before. She had the whole school. He said 700 people, 700 students plus staff.
She had everybody wearing orange ribbons, and
everybody was wearing orange ribbons.
ignoring him and shoulder checking him in the hallway and knocking his books out of his hand and just like,
yeah, like any person would like be worn down by that, but especially somebody like Rick who's already very isolated. She set this up. She,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
without
but
her,
she set it up though because he put his hands on the girl though.
she wasn't friends with
she
Terry.
wasn't in. Yeah, so
She like, okay, so Jimmy and Spinner, who we see, and Hazel, Jimmy's girlfriend, and Paige, her little blonde best friend, they were all friends with Terry. They were
Yeah.
there the day that Terry got put in the coma.
yeah, that's why you see that little scene between Rick and Paige in the purple shirt in the cafeteria when she's like, when he said, "I'm sorry about Terry," after he puts the gun, you know, she apologizes.
Yeah.
That's because they had a
Yes.
very, and in the beginning of the episode, which I love, we don't have our, out of respect to the episode, we're not having our normal segments like the shots fired, but I felt like I love how she, and I missed this joke, like Raditch on line 1, he wants to like he wants his wardrobe,
suit back.
he wants his suit back, and he's like, take a message. Like they
Yeah,
have this
that was
back,
a good comeback.
they have this back and forth thing where she is the queen bee and snarky, but it's clear that like Paige was ultimately very hurt by what happened to Terry. They were very good friends, and she
Paige and Spinner were the ones who like found her.
Yes, she's
in the
Paige
cinder
and
block
Spinner
field,
found her, so
blood
she's very
gushing from her head.
and she was not like mean towards Rick. Like she was gonna avoid him. It was Emma who had her kind of like redirect that anger into confrontation,
And that's like, Emma's nickname is Cause Girl.
Yeah,
Emma is that girl. And sometimes she's got a good cause, but she's never got a good reason.
No, yeah, she's literally on the steps when they see Rick coming in the school. He comes back to Degrassi, and she's like, "Oh, this is wrong. I need to get involved." Those are the vibes. She has no real connection to the call. She never really knew Terry. She didn't even know the situation. It was really relegated to their clique. Like if you were not their friends, you didn't really know what happened to Terry. So Emma blew up the spot. Emma made everybody know what happened to Terry McGregor, and Rick is the one who did it to her. It doesn't matter the details. Rick's the public enemy number 1 because of Emma, who was never really involved and who didn't know the specifics herself.
This kid never should have come back to Degrassi.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was back to, he never should have thought that she was his friend. Or would want to be anything more than just somebody to do the what was it called? Whack around town? Whack around town. I want to keep saying whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole, whack around town. That's the new name, whack around town. That's the thing with Rick. He doesn't have good discernment. He doesn't really understand what people's intentions are.
Yeah,
and I think he's just reading on what she's saying and not like trying to read any deeper into like the fact that she is literally like been his tormentor and just doesn't want to be like cruel to someone, and that's why she stopped it.
Overcorrecting at this
She
point.
is. Ooh, that's a good word. Ooh, yeah.
She's overcorrecting.
She's overcorrecting. Yeah. She sucks. Overcorrecting doesn't work. Like if the damage is done, people already like on a large scale hate. Everybody in the school knows about what Rick did because of you. And not to say that he deserves anonymity or discretion, but just to say that that wasn't your place to blow up the whole situation like that. Like Terry wasn't there to speak for it or lead the crusade. None of her friends were doing that. You made it your mission.
Paige joined the ribbon campaign at the start.
Paige joined, but she would have never done that. She would have never made a ribbon campaign on her own.
She would have just left the dot and avoided Rick, and it would have been tense, and then he would have made some friends, and it would have probably been fine from there.
Yeah.
I hated when like Spinner and Jimmy say something shitty to Rick in the hallway or whatever, and Emma's like,
Yeah.
they don't
yes.
like you because they don't know you.
Thank you,
And, like,
Caroline. That's one of
no,
my points. That's
they
actually
don't like him because he put their friend in a coma.
that's
and Terry
literally
actually
not the
was
reason.
their friend.
Like, that's totally not the reason why they don't like Rick. You know why they don't like Rick.
Right?
Like,
He
Why
was
don't
setting
you
this
help
boy
him
up.
find some other friends?
it's like she was setting him up. Like, why are you
Yeah.
encouraging him to put himself out there where these people are concerned?
hmm Think that
Like,
they want to
that's
be okay with you, because I saw him getting a little smiles and stuff. Like, it seemed like he was feeling like, okay, everything's going to be okay. Like, I'll be
Mhm.
friends with Jimmy and others, and I can get Emma to be my girl. And like, you
like he's
felt
got to
bad for him
be.
when it all crumbled
Yeah.
apart, because
Mhm.
it seemed like he generally thought like, oh, my life is coming together.
Mhm. I think he did. But it's like, it sucks. Like, it's either got to be like all or nothing for him, that he has to tell his mom he's running the school, or like he doesn't have
Yeah, he
any
did say
friends. Like,
that.
it's all or nothing. Like, why? And his mom just wants to believe everything. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess it's a good, like, as moms, do you feel like if like that's something that you would believe, like if your child is telling you something like this socially, do you feel like you just take their word for it, or do you try to dig a little deeper? It's like somebody like Rick, like he's showing like warning signs, like he's clearly not okay. Like he's on like a manic sort of high, but it's clear that this is probably not I don't know, any sort of like investigation, and maybe she would she would have found out that that's not the case. But
Yeah, the mom seemed real, just whatever he say,
mm-hmm.
whatever he say, she was cool with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, if
Where is. Go ahead,
okay,
sorry.
no, I've been talking. Go ahead.
I just want to know what her accent is supposed to be.
I assume she's French Canadian.
That's a good question.
Yeah, she did have an accent. Now
If
that you
it
say that.
wasn't, yeah, if it wasn't French Canadian, I would say some sort of Eastern European potentially. But yeah, that would French Canadian would make sense
So Rick was
because she
like
walked
first
the blue.
generation here.
Yeah, that would track. It's definitely like his mom is just not doing any of like, and I'm not gonna blame his mom, but I just think she's not tuned in. I don't think that she's really, and like her saying like, oh, to think I wanted you to switch schools. So you have to have some understanding of the fact that like,
She just wants to believe that her kid's okay.
right. I guess that's kind of,
And like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not a parent, but I would like to think that I would like to think that if my kid were the target of a school-wide 700 students deep bullying campaign, probably like 650, 675. You know, there's going to be some kids who don't engage.
Oh, God.
But if my kid had been the target of that,
yeah.
and then all
Yeah,
of a
how
sudden
she
is
didn't know
like,
about that? How she didn't know?
I
Like,
mean,
the mom ain't
she
know?
had to know something because she thought he should change schools.
Right. I feel like she had to know.
For him to then suddenly just be like, yeah, no, me and Tobes are going to be running the place. Like, I'm sorry, you can look at these two kids and know that that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, and I mean, yeah. Maybe that's the thing. She's like, she's not looking at the situation. She wants to, like you said, she wants to believe her child's okay. And Toby, and I'm sorry, Toby and Rick look like the kids that are not running anything but the chess club.
No.
And that's with love.
Yeah.
That's
Or
with
the
love.
whack your brain.
Or the whack
Like,
your
this is the
brain.
coolest
Which,
that they
like,
were
how
ever
is-
going to be.
But how
Mhm.
is whack your brain like such a big deal that like that kind of stuff when I was in high school, that was not what the cool kids were doing.
I think just because it's like televised and whatever, like, and I don't know, Mr. Simpson's the cool teacher.
Is that Snake?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's Snake.
Snake.
That's Emma's stepdad. He's her dad. It's like
Yeah.
my dad, but he's
Right.
technically her stepdad.
Right, same. He's
Her real
not
dad took acid in the 80s and jumped or fell
and
off a
jumped
bridge and had
jumped
a
or
TBI
fell off a bridge. Yeah,
Oh,
and now
wow.
he knits
in a group home.
in a group home, and they don't speak because he was in one episode, two-parter, and he served his purpose. So
Degrassi.
she forgets that man exists.
I feel like all the adults kind of failed here, including Mr. Snake.
Mr.
Like-
Snake did fail here.
I love
Um,
Mr. Snake. I love that. No,
the-
it's yeah.
I mean, the principal was the worst. The
He was
principal
top
made me
tier.
think.
Can I? That "it takes two to tango" line was low-key
It
triggering
takes
for
two
me.
to tango,
Because
Richard.
when I was in 3rd grade, I went to a daycare center. And my bully was in my 3rd grade class, and then he also was at my daycare center. And if
Mhm.
I told on him at daycare, my counselors would tell me it takes two to tango, and we would both get timeout. And what timeout meant was that like we were both in like empty rooms in the community center, and that little fucker would sneak out and like come to my my timeout room and like fucking torment me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, what
Fuck,
it made
takes
me
two
think.
to tango.
What
Sorry.
it made me think of. Well, yeah, there's that. But what it made me think of is that vice principal who, when the kid hit you in the face with the book bag on the
I know that
bus
story.
ride home, like said, but honestly, Caroline, can you be honest? Don't you have like a little crush on him? And
Yeah.
I remember getting in the car with her and saying, you have to be respectful of adults. But she's absolutely full of
You're
shit.
way cooler in this story that I tell because you did it in the office when I tell that story. Because
No,
that's
no,
how
I
I
would never-
remember it.
I would never. And that's, that's the thing I think about in terms of watching this and being a parent. And I think, I mean, I didn't have big feelings watching this about the school shooting, but I had big feelings about the bullying.
Yeah.
Because when your kid is
Mm.
being bullied, and I want you to think back to pre-K, like I was taught very early that if I made a stink about something, they were going to take it out on my kid because of the way that one of your classmates whose parents were both pains in the ass was treated. And I mean, there's a whole lot of other stuff there that we don't need to go into. But I watched what happened to that kid because her parents were constantly on the school. Instead of making the bullying better for her, I think they made it worse to the point where she was bullied by teachers as well. And she was a difficult kid. But I feel like I got that lesson very early that you just suck it up and don't make waves with teachers. I would never have gone to Mr. Radish or whatever his name is.
Radishes is radishes. Yeah, and he's not a good guy in this. And I mean, I think that it's crazy because he definitely has his moments where he's better, but he's not a good guy in this episode. He's very dismissive, and he's clearly like, I don't care about what you're talking about. Like,
maybe he's got a thing against him as well?
Yeah, I
like
think it's
everybody
more
else?
that he's overwhelmed. He's got 700 students. And
Okay.
that sounds
Not
like a
that
lot
many.
of. Is it not that many? That sounds like
No,
so many. That's so many teenagers. What are you talking
That's
about?
not
That's
that
not
many.
that many.
That's not that
Okay,
many.
Avis.
Some classes
Avis.
alone have 1,000 kids.
Avis, I want you to
Yeah.
imagine standing in front of an auditorium
I
filled
don't.
with 700 teenagers, and
I
you
don't
have
wanna
to
think
deal
about
with
that,
all
Caroline.
of them.
That's my
so
personal
many
nightmare.
teenagers. This
That
is
is my
Canada.
personal
They probably have smaller class sizes. I'm just saying.
Teenagers
Yeah,
scare me. They
Yeah, no.
absolutely
And
terrify me. So
fuck
no.
Radich,
Well,
he's not a
aren't we
good
all
principal at
glad
this point.
not to be in high school anymore? That was my
So
main
glad.
takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so glad.
I-
And like it's the difference today, I feel like, is just that people expect to have violence in their schools. Whereas that wasn't an expectation for me. I never really felt unsafe in my school. Or
Did you do like active shooter drills? You're
No,
enough younger than me, no?
not until we did bomb threats. That's the closest we ever got. We started
Yeah.
increasing the bomb threats, and I don't know if that was pre them wanting to say it was active shooter drills, but when I taught preschool, we did active shooter drills with our preschoolers.
Jesus.
So I
That makes me
personally
wanna
never,
Imagine.
and the babies didn't understand. It was to the point where we had to tell them when there's the light flashing, we go into the bathroom because that was the only covered area. And you sit on the floor in the bathroom. And we had to have them do that for like upwards of 20 minutes because the whole school has to do it. And they didn't understand why they couldn't come out and stuff. And we had to make it a game. We had to sing songs and stuff. But of course, in the real situation, you wouldn't be able to do that. So we had to like
You'd
whisper.
have to keep them quiet.
We would have to keep them
Right.
quiet, but we couldn't sing.
Mm.
So we were like, it's very much like these are 4-year-olds, just
That's
for,
so fucked.
it was
'Cause I
very
feel
much
like-
not, yeah.
We had a couple of like we had fire drills and bomb drills,
Bomb
I
drills,
think.
yeah.
And then like once or twice I remember like a lockdown
Yeah, lockdown.
drill, but it was
But it
just
wasn't
like
not
you
an
sat on
active
the
shooter.
floor with the
It was
lights off
lockdown,
against
yeah.
the walls and the doors were locked. And
Yeah.
somebody would walk down the hallways like trying all the doorknobs. Like
Yes, we did that. And they called it lockdown, but I
I
don't
think
think it
we did that,
became
like,
active shooter.
twice. And I did it once
Yeah.
in community college.
Yeah, I don't think it became active shooter for a couple of years following, I guess, me leaving high school. I'm not sure. I know my school in particular was like the worst school in the district or the area, like the worst school in the best area kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we just had a bad sort of rap of like how dangerous our school was, but I never felt any sort. So even something like a lockdown, I didn't take serious. Like, it's like, whatever, like this is a routine sort of thing. Like there was no thing in my mind about there being an active threat of danger. Someone got hit with a wrench at my school and that's about it. And there were fights daily. And there were
That's
typically
enough.
fights I missed. I know, right? That person
In my
was okay.
day, when I was at this same school, we fought,
Yeah.
but ain't nobody
Mhm.
fighting with no weapons. Maybe you had something in your hand. Some people used to have them, what they call them, the brass knuckles.
Yeah.
And you
Or your
could tell
keys.
somebody- yeah.
As of 24th in 2024 this year, there have been 34 school shootings in the U.S.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine, that's crazy. The
That's
most we had
crazy.
in high school is sometime we would be in a class and they would say like I don't even think they called it a lockdown, but
Mhm.
like we had to stay in our classrooms, and
Mhm.
then you could hear they were looking for drugs because you could hear the dogs going up and
Oh.
down, smelling the lockers.
The threat
But
is
they were-
inside the house.
They
they said
were looking for because people used to do dumb shit and sneak drugs in and sell drugs.
Yeah.
We had bomb threats, but they were always like early in the morning and school would get canceled, and I'm pretty sure they were called in by students.
You had bomb threats in
wow.
Vermont in the
Yep.
70s and 80s.
Yeah, in the 70s, yeah.
That's absurd.
Someone's
But it
like,
was, I mean,
know.
it was invariably somebody who just wanted to give everybody a full day off from school.
Right. That's funny.
Oh yeah, because you never got snow days.
Right?
Right. There's just no snow in Vermont.
Yeah.
No, there is snow, but in the 70s you didn't get snow days.
I don't know. My mom said we had snow days, but I don't ever remember one. We would get snow days if the pipes would freeze in the school because then they had to. But
Now they call
Yeah.
off for about
There
2
had to be
inches.
a foot of snow for us
2
to
inches.
get called out.
yep.
No, it's not. I feel very thankful for the time because I feel like I got out right before things started to get scurry. In my, like,
Yeah.
I just,
I like that.
like, the paranoia kind of keyed up around the time that I left high school. And even in college, I feel like there's not that same threat level of like someone being able to come into a building and shoot, you know, and achieve. Like in college, you're scattered throughout. Even the small college I went to initially, like you're scattered throughout multiple buildings on campus. You have concentrations of students all throughout, you know, several buildings or more. So there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to go in, and like it's just not the same going into college. So I feel like that the vibe is different, I guess.
Well, they have had them other shootings like Virginia Tech and
Right.
what was that other one? There was what was that other college they went in there and shooting up like Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I forgot about Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm. They do it
And you
everywhere.
can't keep
They don't
track
care.
of them all.
You can't keep track of them all.
It's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous.
How about that?
I have some questions about the lightning round and the wackier. How much time was between the end of like the main round and the lightning round? Because we see Rick get a pep talk from Jimmy in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Spinner and Jay come in and be like, all right, let's get this set up. Have time to set it up.
Yeah.
Right, at the precise time that
and
he
like
wins the award.
She stands up to do it really fast.
Yeah, she goes, who is
like,
that girl?
Alex. That's
Alex.
the vice
She's
president.
the vice president.
But like
I do not like her.
And it sucks because
keep watching.
What the show is gonna do is they are gonna kind of try to make you forget about the role that Alex plays in the whole thing.
I will never forget.
I will never. You hear that,
No,
Alex?
that's
You're on
right.
Amy's shit list. No, it's not okay. Without Alex, it couldn't have happened the way it happened because she had access that they needed to backstage. They would have never been able to rig it. Carrie
Alex
style
does kind of just walk away scot-free.
Alex
Spinner
walks
ends
away
up-
scot-free, and Jay. Everybody already knew Jay was in on it. Like Jay is just
I don't like him
agent
either.
of chaos. He's just. And like the show is gonna work overtime, Amy, to redeem these people, and
without any real redemption.
It's just like,
but
we're gonna keep
eventually
these
you
people
fall
here,
for it anyway,
and you're gonna love them, and you're gonna like it, kind of thing.
Well,
but
that
eventually
boy,
you're just like, fine,
whatever, you're here.
that Pahdcast guy, he better do the right thing. That's in my notes too. Come on, Spinner,
Yeah,
do the
Spinner.
right thing.
I can't tell you how much I forgot that Spinner's new haircut that I used to say was my favorite correlates with the shooting. I completely forgot that he gets this good Charlotte heavy bang haircut.
What did his hair look like before?
He had
long
like wavy,
and curly.
a
It was
middle
like
part. And
yeah,
like
it was a
Jesus
haircut
locks.
I had at like 14, like
Yeah.
chin length, wavy, blonde.
Yeah.
Okay.
It suited him. He's got.
That's a big
That's why
difference.
we have Hairas for this guy because he's definitely
And
got
that
very
was the end
distinct
of a
hairstyles.
Hera.
That was
And
the
this
end
is
of a
the
Hera.
beginning of a hair-tatership.
Not good. I'm not happy. And I apologize that this was ever my favorite because he is the worst. This is the start of his tyrant
hair.
era.
It is
He's a
horrible
tyrant.
hair. Avis, why were you falling for that hair?
I told you why. Mom, you know how much I love Leo DiCaprio, and he has not aged well. I'm officially. I've been like out of his
That's
dateable.
not Leonardo
I've been
DiCaprio
out of
hair.
his
What are you
dateable
talking
age
about?
range. Hang on, there's a setup,
period, it
Caroline.
was.
There's a setup. Yeah, there's he had very like effeminate like hair, like heavy, like, and his hair would just be in his eyes, and he would just brush it away. Like it was very feminine. Like he just had this point of time where his hair was like always in his face and always like just the best. I've been out of his date range for like 5 years now, though. He won't date me. I've been too old for Leo for years now.
That's good though. You've probably been too smart for Leo forever.
I'm 30 now. Yes, I've been. The smart. Yeah, no, that's.
I just have to say that the way that your hammock is, and like with your wall behind you, it looks like beautiful fairy wings, and I love it.
Oh,
Oh, it does kind of look like wings now that you say that.
I think they're
I
angel
love it.
wings.
Yeah.
I was confused about in the whack-a-mole competition is what, like that lightning round. How did those points work? Because the other team
That was
had
in my shit
40,
too.
and then you
Caroline,
see
you're fake.
everything that what's his diddle does. He doesn't answer 41 questions, and somehow he's got
No, and he
41, which
missed
is
one.
And then it jumps to
Yeah, he
50.
did miss one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it
goes
did?
from like
one.
41
Yeah,
to
he-
50. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird because they were a point at a time, and then suddenly it was 41, and then it was 50, and then it's the
These
end of the
points
game.
are weighted the way we say they're weighted, okay? They mean what we say they mean.
Maybe that was the subplot. They fixed it so he could win too. Just like they fixed it for Carrie when they dropped the pig's
right.
blood
What
on
were
her.
they
They
gonna
did
do when
say that. They said that. They said that we made it so that he'd be all
If-
alone in the lightning round, but like
Yeah,
it's
but what
always
if he-
one person anyway. He was gonna be alone anyway.
Right.
Yeah, so how would well, they said that in the bathroom when they
Yes.
were trying to
It was
trick him
all
into thinking
it
Jimmy
was all
was behind
happenstance.
it.
If the other team
Right.
had won the lightning round, nothing would have happened. Or maybe Rick would have been up there if they got to the lightning round.
Right.
So
would
maybe
they
they
have
Well-
still, if
gotten
he had
a
lost,
lightning
they would have
round?
dumped it on him.
Would
But
they have
I
still
think she got up before he so she might have just dumped whatever on some innocent
someone else.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because no one would have been standing there if there was no lightning round.
For Degrassi. So there had to, because like that's what I'm confused.
Right. So if no one's there from Degrassi, there's no lightning round.
Northern got a lightning round.
Mm.
So does Degrassi automatically get a lightning round too?
No, they tied,
Or just because of
and
right.
that triggered the
Yeah,
lightning
the tie
round.
triggered the
So
lightning
that's
Here's
what
round.
I'm
my
saying.
issue. The lightning round should have been them against each other versus one person against one. Like the points don't make. Why do they have the lightning round
It's
separately?
fine that it's 1-on-1 because it's a tiebreaker.
Well, just do a tiebreaker question then, for heaven's sake.
Do a tie, but like neither of them are standing there. So if he does not achieve the amount of points if he only got 40, what would they do? They would do another tiebreaker? That's dumb. They should do and actually, like, you're standing here and we're gonna read the question, and whoever gets it right, whoever buzzes in first
Right.
gets the point, and that's the tiebreaker.
Well, we don't
That's
know
normally how it's
What
done.
is the lightning round? What is that supposed to accumulate points for your team, not be a tiebreaker?
but it is this is how
Back
they
your
did
brain, you make no sense. I'm coming for you. You make no sense.
it. With your announcer who a little bit was like Nick Cannon from Wish.com.
I ordered Nick
I
Cannon
don't even
from Wish,
remember that guy.
and it's just who I got. I was just focused on his stance because he was very open-footed. Like
It
he
was
was
mostly just the way he was talking.
he was commandeering that stage. He was like, he had a wide stance, and he's like, and his suit was tan, like head to toe.
It was
he
a
in
very
tan.
bad Wish.com Nick Cannon, but it was like there was something about his presence on that stage.
It's his presence.
He was way more hyped to be there than the situation warranted.
He is an actor.
Because it was clearly the Catalina wine mixer of
Of academic
brain.
decathlon.
I'm done. Just like this is the highlight of my weekend. Like this is like he was excited. It's like Whack Your Brain was such a weird thing.
Such a weird
because
thing.
How are they scoring this?
Classes are just on halt.
Classes are just on hold. And also, I have to point out, there's a young lady, and I think we'll post this on our socials if I don't have the photo on my phone, because I don't know if my iPad synced right. Oh no, I did. I got the young lady staring up. She is staring up at the ceiling right before the paint falls on Rick, and she's in the audience.
Okay,
And
well,
this is
that's a
when
bad
This
job.
this
of
is when
things.
Snake is still clapping, and they're still responding to,
Set
you
up.
know, Rick getting the questions right.
I call foul.
She knew. So I wonder how many times they did this, because like this is literally the messiest like thing. I feel like this is worse than like blood, because this is like sticky paint and feathers. How many times are you gonna set this up?
Except that I couldn't tell if it was like, I thought it was like either peanut butter or the contents of 1,000 newborn baby diapers. Like it just, and then when
It's
they
a
said
really intense color.
yellow paint, I'm like, that wasn't yellow, that was
the
brown.
paint that
Yeah, it
Jay
was like
lifts
an
up was like,
orangey brown.
I don't know how
somewhere
they
in there.
What's the
achieved
color of
that.
baby poop?
Like Jay lifts up, he has a container, a gallon of
Yeah,
white
they
paint.
showed him
It's
right
white.
with the container is white.
The container's white. So what did he
Yeah.
mix it with to make it that color? Mustard? Because it kind of looks low-key like some like poopy like Dijon. Like
It's a very intense
like
color.
the color is really weird, and like the thickness of it as well is like concerning. I want to know what concoction that was, because he took white paint and made that happen. But
Well, I don't think the paint was necessarily white. The bucket was white,
Yeah,
but
the container. That's
oh,
what
I
I
thought,
got
because they
from
look
it.
translucent to me.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. It was
Okay, so I am from the camp where things make sense, and we put paint in the color jar that actually the paint is. So if you've got yellow paint, you do in a yellow container, you have, and it's yellow. You
For
can
that
see it.
much paint.
that's
You can
because you
see it.
used to teach preschool. But when they do it, I think you can't have it be like exposed to.
That's
So
probably
they start with like I think they start with white paint, and then you
Mhm.
pick your color and they mix the color into it.
Yeah.
definitely that
So-
happens.
It's
like the
that does
base.
happen. That pigment, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then they can you tell them the number and they make the number.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
he got the number made.
Jay's
He got
Jay's
baby
mixing
poop.
it up back there. He's like, this got to be the perfect chicken yellow. It's like the worst concoction, and he doesn't change. Sensorily, I can't, like the paint drying on him, like I just can't. And it's on his hair, and it's
Yep,
like
and
on
his
his glasses.
glasses.
How do
Yeah.
you
Like, how did-
function?
How did he get back to school with that on his glasses? Because he goes
I don't
home
know.
Yeah.
and then weirdly is
he
like,
go home to get
mother,
the gun.
father.
So you were and
Yeah. It's
to
weird,
this,
too.
he cleans up, but his glasses still don't really recover from that. His glasses are still caked with paint. And I have watched enough shows, this is one of my notes, to know that it is actually very hard to hit a moving target. As humans, it is very difficult for us to hit a moving target. So how did he, on the first shot, hit Jimmy?
And he
If this
turned
was
his
in a
head.
And he turned his
He,
head
like,
too.
Yeah, he put the gun
Because
out.
this is
and
a
then
television
he was like,
show.
"Ah."
Was like
Jimmy was
go
running
to
like
the left or the right.
scattering,
Oh,
like he was
too,
running
but
a
he shouldn't
little
have gotten hit.
formation. He shouldn't have gotten
Yeah.
hit. It is
So
it is even hard for
maybe-
trained marksmen to do that.
Maybe Rick didn't shoot him so much as he ran into the bullet.
Because he was,
Because he was zigging and
Like
zagging and
Star
dipping and
Athlete.
dodging.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's-
called Forrest in like last night while I was watching. I was like, okay, but will you just watch Teenage Drake get shot with me? And he was like, yeah, okay.
That's the thing. It's great.
I believe the credits said his name is Aubrey.
Aubrey Drake. Yes, that his mother names
Yes.
him Aubrey. I typically call him Aubrey. At least I did in the beginning, and then I just stopped acknowledging him. I'll be honest.
You know, when I first seen, like, I knew Drake was on the show. And then
He's starting
in
to
the
look like
basketball
Drake at this
scene,
point,
yeah,
too.
he's just starting to look like
Yeah.
himself.
He
And
looks
when
very
the basketball
underbaked.
scene happened, that's when
Mhm.
I knew it was gonna be him. I was like, "Oh, Drake and Ray get shot. It's Drake." They set him up.
So you didn't know going in that it was going to be Drake? Did you know, Mom?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, I knew.
Somehow my mom was kept shielded from the plot point of an entire generation.
Yeah, what did you know about Degrassi going in, that Drake got shot and Emma almost got abducted?
I knew Drake was on the show. That's it. He was the most famous one to come out of the show.
Which is a
Avis and her
crime.
siblings used to watch it. It was about high school. I was thinking, though, what does the CS mean? Because on the wax show, they were
Community
saying
school.
Community school.
community school. Okay.
They do that so they don't have to specify what grades go there.
Yeah, because sometimes there's middle schoolers. It
Sometimes
just
there's middle
happens.
school kids, and then the kids who are in 7th and 8th grade just suddenly don't have a place to go to school anymore. It like they like to adjust the grades, but then it eventually just becomes a high school, 9 to 12. But they've got to call it
Is that
community
what
school.
happened to Kendra?
So many things happened to that poor lady, that poor young lady. But yeah, I didn't know that you didn't know. I didn't know that you didn't know all that.
I did try to do my homework too, I have to tell you, but the 2B episode numbers
Yeah,
were way
Fucked
off.
up, yeah.
yes,
So
they're
I'm like,
not
and
right.
I would have had to reach out for this one, but the name was in it.
Yes,
So I was like, okay, so I found it by name.
yes.
And then, but the other two just had season and then episode number. And I was like, this, I don't even know if this is right.
Right.
And I just started watching it last night too, so there was that too. But
No, I usually
But
do
yeah,
I usually do my rewatches the night before too, if not the day of. So
twice actually, because I wanted to have
Yes.
the episode fresh in
Yeah.
my head, actually. So in the car when we were coming back here, I watched both episodes again. I
Hi,
caught
Fight
two.
for
I
Doodle.
caught. Did you watch it too? What did we say?
I said hi to Caroline's dog.
He
the
can't
fight.
hear you.
dog.
I have headphones
Aw.
in.
I
And
thought
he
I heard
is-
Nina Bean. Also Caroline.
She's over there.
Bina, my doggy girl. You never met
There
her
she
before,
is.
but I talk about her all the time. You
With a
see
little
her?
butt.
Yeah.
My mom
puppy.
has permanent custody, but we used to. She is technically mine. I miss my
I
big
still
girl,
call her my grandbaby.
my big booty girl.
Hmm.
She was my first.
That was a booty shot too. She just stuck it all out
Yes,
there.
she,
for you.
yeah, the spot is her butt. the brown spot is her butt. She was my first
Good
dog. I
girl.
didn't really like dogs or no dogs. I won't say like
No.
dogs. I was a little bit afraid of dogs before I met Nina,
Me
and
too.
she made me not afraid of dogs. But yes, Caroline
too.
has a dog and 2 cats.
Oh,
One of her
okay.
cats is named Biggie.
Big A. Best rapper in history.
Yes, that's
Or is CAT.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. No,
When
I was gonna
Forrest
say
saw
what I
her
had
name
noticed
tag-
about that episode. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, because I'm not talking about the show at all. I'm telling
Okay.
life
The
stories.
cat. story.
Yeah.
It's always good to watch something the second time, right? Because he knew the answers to some of the sports questions, but
Jimmy
he purposely didn't.
or Rick?
Rick.
Yeah.
Rick knew the answer, but he didn't ring in because he wanted Jimmy to get the answer so Jimmy could get on the team. Did y'all notice that, or was it just me? So, like
No,
when he
I
was
saw that too. Like when he had that golf question when they were.
The last question.
like he knew the answer when they were before it was on TV and they were doing the bells.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy wound up answering one of the sports questions. He knew the answer. I think it was the boxer. It was like he was getting ready to hit the thing, and he said it. Or no, it was the Buffalo Bills when it was like, "What is the losingest team in football?" And he said
Yeah.
Buffalo. He mouthed Buffalo and was getting ready to hit the thing, but he didn't.
Oh,
Jimmy enough time to hit it. So
When
I
they
didn't
were practicing.
understand that part. Yeah,
oh,
when
is
they were
that
practicing.
in the hallway?
Yeah, when they were hitting bells.
No, in class with Snake.
in class, right? They were
It
a
was all
snake,
4 of them
right?
practicing. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Mr.
Okay.
Snake.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Snake,
Mr.
sorry.
Snake.
Yeah, Mr. Snake.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some throwing of the questions. I think that like the last question when they're actually on air, when it's like the Bobby Jones is the answer, and
Well,
Jimmy's
he was
like, "Oh, I
waiting
didn't
for
know
Jimmy
it."
on that one.
Yes, he's like, "I didn't know it,"
Yeah.
but I think that it's like that's what
Didn't
like
ring
it's
in
like
right
they're back
away, even though he
back
knew
and
it.
forth throwing it, right? Like I think that
That was on purpose.
I think
Jimmy
he's
knows
trying to like,
and then Rick knows some, and they're kind of like doing a dance of who's gonna say whatever, because I don't really think there's too many instances of neither of them are like don't know.
it's honestly like that whole thing. This episode is very tragic because, like, yes, fuck Rick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't bring a gun to school and shoot people.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if the paint thing hadn't happened, I feel like this would have been a turning point for Rick. Are he and Jimmy
Yes.
going to become best friends? No, absolutely not. But Jimmy is
Is
a
he gonna
leader at
shoot
Degrassi,
Jimmy?
and people are going to follow, and the bullying is going to peter off.
And he also won't like Jimmy empathized with him.
Mhm.
Jimmy like saw his side, and that like the torment really does mean something. And so Jimmy was deciding to be the bigger person in his group of friends and be like, okay, I am going to listen to what this person says because maybe it is too much. Maybe it has been long enough, and maybe it is like tired, you know?
Right.
He's being mature about it, and it really does. It's really, and obviously it's the tragic nature of this storyline that he is the one who suffers the consequences for immaturity. And for somebody playing entirely too much. Like Jay and Spinner just don't understand the gravity. Like they don't, like I say this when I'm driving because I see the thought process of other people, but some people don't look at like more than a car in front of them. Some people don't look around, and they're not trying to anticipate what other people are going to do. They're not thinking a couple steps ahead. They're just thinking one direct step ahead, if that. And it's like you can see when someone changes lanes and then there's a car directly in front of them that they did not see when they could have seen it ahead of time, and they're like, oh, now there's a car, I can't go forward like I wanted to. And it's like, if you would have just thought about like, why would I blame Jimmy? What is the worst case scenario of what could happen to Jimmy?
They weren't thinking that.
They weren't
Bull
thinking
went in
that
there.
at all.
No.
And they weren't thinking
No,
that
I-
at
Boy,
all.
when they were
thinking
going
the
in there because
they
they were
worried
upset about
getting
they
in
were getting
trouble
ready to
with
know who did it.
Raditch.
Well, they were worried
Yes.
about getting in trouble, but it was another way to humiliate Rick.
Yeah.
Because Rick,
Right, you
was
thought you had
starting
a
to-
friend.
You thought you had a friend. He's not your friend. He's the one that set this whole thing up.
Yeah. It's
Spinner
like, but
better make this right, and I hope Jay goes to prison
spoiler alert, Jay does
for murder.
not for murder. Jay does not go to prison.
Jay does not go to
and-
prison.
And it's debatable whether or not Spinner
He gets redeemed with no redemption. Spinner does a lot of growing.
he grows, and I think through that growth people but I think, is there ever really
He
a
comes
debt
clean.
that you can repay other than like being honest and trying to do better? He can't. He does that, but he
there
doesn't
is
ever
a
really.
debt that you can repay if the people that you owe the debt to decide it's repaid, which Jimmy does.
Jimmy eventually does,
I
but
was
I
going to ask
also
that. Does Jimmy forgive him? Does Jimmy find out what he did? And does he forgive him?
Spinner comes forward. It takes him some time, but
it
he comes
takes him
forward,
time.
and everybody fucking drops him. And he spirals, and he works at it, and he and Jimmy gets held back as a result, and Spinner gets held back from getting suspended.
That's how they make
or
them
expelled.
like. The show makes them
And they
have to confront each other because they are the last two of their friend group.
No,
at
Spinner's
Degrassi, and they do have a rough time, but eventually they get to where they need to be. And it's not that I think that like Spinner is not redeemable. I just think that there's a lot of like things that occur in the midst of Spinner trying to get Jimmy back. He feels like, you know, like he does spiral. And I think a lot of that, like wanting to get back in Jimmy's good graces, like hurts him for a while.
Mhm.
Like, and like it's a very sort of torturous storyline. So I mean, I guess they do sort of put him
But
through it.
also, like, how does he make it right for Rick's parents?
No.
No,
I
Right.
mean,
No.
how do you do that?
you
And that
don't, yeah.
And
No.
people
It
forever
was
change.
2004. Nobody was thinking about Rick's parents.
Yeah, I think that
Or
like
I'm still back to them educators too. Like how that boy he walked back into the school covered in paint,
With
got the
like a
book bag
glazed over expression.
holding
uh,
his book bag to his chest and
with one hand inside the lip of the book bag. He all up in the cafeteria. He all in the
Yeah.
hallways, in the bathroom.
yeah, he wasn't hiding.
Yeah, like come
Where's
on.
Sauvé? Where's
Can we
Quan?
talk about how before
Where's
Spinner and Jay
Armstrong running
fucked
the
it up,
school?
right?
How what?
Armstrong was there fucking breaking up that fight.
We have like three main, other than Snake, we have like we have Raditch as far as like the faculty that we know. We have Snake, we have Raditch. They're the two in this episode. But
Miss
we also
Kwan we see.
we have Miss Kwan. We do see her, but she doesn't do anything. And we have Miss Sauvé. She's the school guidance counselor.
who
She's
comes
a
and gets Hazel and
psychiatrist.
tells her boyfriend got shot.
And she need to
Yeah,
be with
so-
everything that go on in this high school.
Okay, wait, she's the one that calls that girl into the hallway?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Miss
That
Sauvé.
really pissed me off because there was just a shooting in the hallway.
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
going like,
Calling
I
a
need to
student
talk to
out.
you?
Yeah.
We're on
Yeah.
lockdown, but I need you to come out in the hallway with me.
Because it had
She's
to
bad
happen.
at her job.
Honestly, we have had, this is the opinion on the pad that like Miss Sauvé is working with very little resources.
Very
And-
little resources.
You got a little something.
And
they
shootings
don't-
weren't
and they
a thing
really
in
don't-
America barely at this point. School shootings, like
like how you said,
I
Amy,
don't know,
that
or
like
maybe
they took
Columbine
one
started
day.
and then they just started
Yeah.
rolling with it.
They took one day for this. They're like, that's enough. That like, but they told Sauvé, you have to run this one day. Like you got to deal with like
You're
all
in
the
charge
emotion.
now.
You're in charge, and she's just like, bitch, I don't know.
Well,
She's like, I'm not equipped for this. I didn't go to school for this part of this.
No.
Like, I don't have the tools. I'm working off of a book here. YouTube has not been created yet.
But all of this is
Mm.
Go ahead.
how does Rick get a gun in Canada too?
You can have guns in Canada.
yeah, it's his dad's gun.
Yeah,
And
he
his
took it out of
dad's
that
like-
case.
His dad's like a traveling salesman or something. So he's not.
Yeah, it's probably
need to
there
lock
for
them
home
guns up.
protection and not
It
locked
needs
up
to
so
be
it's
locked
easy
up.
access for his
it
French
was-
Canadian
it was very-
wife.
It looked
And
easy.
presumably with bullets. It was locked. It was in a case with the bullets already like the
Loaded.
joint's loaded up.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Why are you
It
leaving?
was
And
not
like
proper gun safety.
they say about like leaving, you know, if you have toddlers, leaving your bullets and your gun in two separate places. But like people don't consider that like teenagers are just as vulnerable to a gun. Like I feel like you probably want to continue that, like you want to buff up the security
I feel
for
like
when they're
Yeah.
teens. Like
guns
you don't
are
want
one of the
to
things where like teenagers and toddlers are just as dumb about
just
them.
as dumb about them. Like, oh, I know what this
Agreed.
does, but
But
do I really know what this does? Like, no, it's just like
He's still
it's-
fearless. That's the
yes,
thing.
Mhm.
there's still a fearlessness to it, and it's like it's less the ignorance versus the fearlessness when you're a teenager versus a toddler. But like they're one and the same, and it's like why, as like clearly the dad in Rick's house is not there because he travels, and his mom does whatever she does, so she's not there enough. So he has a lot of unfettered access to his home. Why wouldn't you take some measures to ensure that he's not able to just pull out a
A
9mm? Like, come on now.
Well, particularly
gun
if
he
you
had.
know he's been having a hard time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
And
that's
if
the
there's
other gun
violence
statistic.
involved.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's the
Because it's
gun.
how it's always been, and you don't. It's 2004 in Canada. It's how it's always been.
And if there's an
That your
immigrant,
gun is
if it's
unlocked
like an
and
immigrant
loaded.
household, which I do think they're an immigrant
don't-
family.
Think it's immigrant if she's French Canadian.
If she's French Canadian, but if she's Eastern European, which is my theory,
Okay, well, she could definitely be either.
and we haven't seen his daddy, but
He
he's
wore
very
a beret,
flaxen
though,
hair.
so I assume
He's
she is
very
French or French Canadian.
But okay, but my aunt wore a beret like religiously. For
Yeah, but your
I think
aunt's
the
not
beret.
Mhm.
But I think a
She did,
beret
she
was
did.
just in style. Just like a beret was just like not style.
No,
Not
that
like a
no,
coffee
no, no.
culture.
Well, Monica
no.
Lewinsky had one.
Okay, was Monica Lewinsky
She
in
did.
Not like
style?
not like main culture style, but somebody's like subculture style. Like I'm not gonna say beatnik, but like like coffee cup. Like
Yeah, there are definitely people think that's. There are
Whatever that-
definitely people that think that's a good look, but I'm.
and Rick is like one of them. He's just
Yeah,
it
I'm
sucks
not.
because it's like kids suck, kids are cruel, and it's like
Right.
kids are gonna pick. I hate hats. Most hats are like unnecessary, but specifically like what are you wearing,
Like,
Rick?
if it's not keeping
your
your head
outfit
warm,
is not even
Yeah.
calling for
cowboy
this.
hat at a cowboy hat setting.
It's not even like he's
Then
doing a
why are you
Marco or a
wearing it?
Manny where he's committing to the hat with the outfit and it's clearly like I selected this hat and this shoes for this outfit. Like, no.
Yeah,
You just threw that hat on as an afterthought or because you thought it looked good with a plaid shirt.
Yeah, he was setting himself up to get messed with, for real.
Well, his mother set him up, putting him in that suit.
His mom said it. Well, and she tailored that suit
I'm sorry,
terribly.
Mom. What did
Yeah.
your son wear to high
Yeah.
school?
I don't know.
What did your son wear to high school? What did your son, Charlie, former producer of this show, Charles Monroe, what did he wear to high school for a while?
I have no
like
idea.
every day, didn't he wear a suit
No. Oh, here, no.
and
When he
bow
was
ties?
here,
Charlie was a bow tie
but
kid.
Charlie did wear bow ties, but the theater department at his school here, every Friday they had Gentleman's Day and they would wear suits.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that
That's why
sounds
Charlie
really
and
cool.
I get along so well because we both did theater in high school, among many other things. I love Charlie, but first of all, that sounds amazing, and my theater department needs to step its game up because, like, excuse me, I would have worn a bow tie too. I would have figured
I
it
feel
out.
like Rick
I
is the
don't-
kind of kid who goes to Gentleman's Day. He says,
Well,
"Milady."
He is.
He says, "Milady."
He's going. Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's like, I kind of like, my teen years were traumatic, but like, I can see that mindset of, I'm going to wear this beret and they're going to see how cool I am. Like having no clue that it was going to have the
Yeah.
exact opposite effect.
And that, no, and
That's a great point. Poor guy.
it's tragic and sad, and fuck Rick,
Yeah.
and also it's not like I don't feel for Rick, and I feel
I
like
do
that's
feel
somewhat
for Rick.
controversial within the fandom, but
And I think it is, but it also, like, people, I think it's very easy to understand the simple, like, wanting to fit in and wanting to belong and wanting to not be at least not be the other, not be
Or
the person
yeah.
that people are pointing at and singling out and laughing at. And like, I know we touched on bullying, but like, I feel like I had a lot of bullying in my elementary school, middle school years, and it definitely was hard because it's like you want to not be the one person that people are like talking about. You would just
You don't
like
want to be the weird kid.
you don't want to be the
Right.
weird
Yeah.
kid. And like, I embrace it now because I am very quirky. And I think there's more of a culture now of like the internet making being adorkable and being like my brand of weird. And all of the different things that I used to be teased for, like, cool and cute and accepted. But it's like, there were times when I'm like, I am the only person in this world that feels like this, or that has these set of like weirdnesses, and like this is why people bully me for it. And so I do understand that like Rick is suffering because he feels like out of everybody. And I mean, for him, it's a little bit different because he did do something to like make him on people's radar. But it's like, ultimately, people are bullying him not because of what he did to Terry, but because of just who he is.
Right.
Yeah, they're
Like
good at
he's
that.
like he's on their radar for that. But like what we see is specifically in the beginning of this episode is like it's hate fueled by what he did to Terry and all of that. But it's like, oh, he's wearing a hat, let's fuck with him because he's wearing a chapeau. Like it's not because he's doing anything in particular.
Well,
You
and
know?
I think from Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
and to a lesser degree Spinner, it's
Mhm.
still at least a little bit about Terry.
Right, it's fueled by Terry. That's why it's like it's fueled
But
by
for
Terry, but
Jay,
it's
it's
not
not.
for Jay. And I will say to an extent Alex, because I think Alex they just kind of shoehorned in there because they wanted you to like they wanted to give Alex something to do. Because another context about Alex and Jay, they were not characters before mid season 3.
Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of skin in the game. They are really there because the show wants them to be relevant right now. Um, it's because Alex is the vice president and because Jay is her boyfriend and because Jay is friends with Spinner and Sean. Like they want
And
them
is
in the
just
mix.
he is an
They
agent
like
of
the bad
chaos.
guys, the ones
Mhm.
right bring in
No,
like
Spinner and Sean.
Well,
so Sean's the one
Alex
who
and
ended up possibly killing Rick.
right.
He's the one who grabbed the gun. Sean's not a
Yeah.
bad kid, but he's got a bad kid reputation, and he's on student welfare, and he was stealing like shit from the school for a while, plus a cancer laptop.
Mhm.
But Sean is not a bad kid.
But he hangs out with, so we are introduced to Jay and Alex in them basically breaking into vending machines on school property and being just like that posse that walks around in slow motion and like teases people and like causes mayhem and all of that. So they are supposed to be like the bad kids, like Alex and Jay. Alex has started to integrate into more of like the society of the school. Like she is more friends adjacent with like the popular people, whereas Jay is just there because of Alex. He's into the popular people and everything because of Alex and her like being vice president essentially. Like it's, and this is all very recent. This just happened earlier this season and they're already trying to just make you like incorporate these people in a way that
things move very fast at Degrassi.
Season 4 is every episode we've had so far has been kind of essential in establishing this shooting. I don't think that there's an episode you could take out that would like
Ghost in the Machine.
Well, yeah, that's about Paige after the 2-parter. Yeah. So after the 2-parter, those episodes are vital in establishing what happens in these 2 episodes. And it sucks. It's like I always have to remember that Alex is like a shit bucket for the role that she played. She sucks. And Spinner and Jay, they all try to, and they have different levels of success, but like it's just like I always remember the role they played in this, and it makes a big difference in their character. At least Spinner. I feel like Jay gets off, and Jay and Alex, you kind of forget their involvement. Unfortunately, their involvement is kind of buried because they want you to focus on other things.
I want to talk about Paige for a second. And the fact that before Spinner and Jay fucked everything all up with their bullshit in the bathroom, Paige just stopped a school shooting.
Yeah, because he would have unleashed fire in that cafeteria. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Paige is a bitch, but she's not a bad person.
And when people point to her and say that she's the bad person, I'm like, okay, but she actually stopped it, and not by social pressure. And
Yeah,
came
no, she
and
was
did
just
the
like,
right
that
thing.
was
Like
fucked, and I'm
she,
sorry that
yeah,
happened, dude.
she didn't need
Yeah,
people
because the
to
girls
like,
at the table she was at was talking trash.
yeah,
It was
they were
guys and
whispering
girls, I
about.
think.
And
Yeah,
like,
laughing and
for
talking
for
trash.
Rick
Mhm.
to have made peace with Jimmy and Hazel, or Jimmy and Paige,
Mm-hmm.
would have been huge
Right.
in like things turning out okay. Are they ever going to be best friends? No. But I bet he and Paige could have fun being witty in the hallways to each other.
I think they would have, and it actually sucks because, like my mom said in the earlier when I was talking about their comeback, his comeback to her little, like, Radish called. It's like he is sharp, he
Mhm.
is smart. Like he just didn't. I think that he really wanted to believe that he could get these things, that he could be the popular guy, that he could have the girl, and like just and like it became a delusion, like to the point where
Mhm.
he was clinging to it despite everything else around him telling him that this is not your reality. And I feel sad for, like, I really think that they bring Rick back to develop him in like a couple of episodes, and I feel bad for him.
Right. I feel like, yes, he's responsible for his own actions, and he's a
Mhm.
child, and so many
He is
adults failed him.
he is a child,
Yeah.
guys. Can we think about like the fact that this baby, he is 16 years old, and I don't even remember my 16-year-old brain, but I know that she needs grace. I know that she needs to be given gentle, loving hands, because like it is like the
Mine
Right,
chaotic
too.
like she
brain
wasn't shooting
of a
up a school,
teenager.
but she was burning shit down in
Mhm.
some chaotic fashion.
Yes.
I'm so
And
sorry
I
for
would say
being 16 ever.
I'm so sorry for being 16 ever, exactly. And
Thank you for
you
Apology not
could
loving
not.
me.
accepted.
I don't want to go back. I don't
I
ever
love
want to
it.
go back, and
I love it.
thankfully that's not how time works. But it's like, to only have the things that my brain could conjure up at 16, to only have that to work off of, and for that to be like where you're paused at forever, is just, it's very tragic. Like, for him to feel like anybody he ever tried to be friends with betrayed him, or like just to have such a bitter view of the world.
Yeah.
Even like, because
That's a
I know
lot
we've
when you're
talked about
16.
his, right, when you're 16, like we've talked about how his growth to us as adults isn't quite where it needs to be, but it's like, how much do we say we're not where we want to be, but we're, still trying? And it's like, in his mind, it's like he did do work, he did think about things, and he did try to confront things, and maybe he's not 100% where he wants to be, but he's hoping that like his peers could at least accept the work that he's done, because that's hard for a
Mhm.
16-year-old. That must be everything, to feel like you've done quote, work on yourself and introspective work on yourself, and then to have everybody say, I don't want to hear it. And it's not like he deserves people to give him an audience, and I know we said that before.
What I don't understand is when he went to Radich, why was he like, Jimmy doesn't like me, and he
And
has
he
no
has no
qualms
problems in
showing it?
showing it.
Like,
Yeah.
instead of being like, dude, yesterday this motherfucker threw me in a dumpster,
I know.
and now I'm supposed to
Like,
be on a team with him. Like, can we not?
yeah.
That's a whole different reaction. It has to be a different reaction from the teacher
Yeah.
when you say
Yeah.
he threw me in a trash can.
Yeah. At least it should, and I
I
think
mean, his
so.
reaction was am I supposed to do? Tell him to like you or something? He said like
Right,
that.
tell him he
Yeah,
has to
that-
like you.
Has to like you, yeah.
And it's like, no, and it's like, that's the TV show thing where it's like they never accurately describe their feelings and their needs in the moment. They're just very vague about it for the sake of the narrative. But it's
Which
like,
I
That's
guess.
just say what you
also a-
need.
That's also a teenager thing, I think, probably.
Yeah, right. He's not being
Mhm.
clear, because it's like, and I mean, this is
Because
his
it's
principle.
so many things, and the dumpster
Yeah.
is just the latest thing in a series of things.
Right. And it's and Raditz should know that. I think that even Rick coming back to the school, you should be on high alert about this kid. You were just telling Emma to back off a couple episodes ago about her crusade and getting Rick
Because
and
this was
signing a
something
petition to get
serious.
Rick kicked out of the school. It's like, so you know that Rick being here is it's precarious. The situation is not okay. Like, you want to keep
Right.
it needs to be monitored. So why are you telling him dismissively, like, takes two to tango, and I've told you time and time again, Richard. I hate the way he says
Yeah.
again.
I hate that this is how they do Raditz, because I
Mhm.
feel
Yeah.
like they
Right.
assassinated his character for the sake of having the Breakfast Club episode, and then they
Yeah.
just did, like, that
They
was
just
just
rolled
it.
with it. I
And
love
it's
the Breakfast
tragic.
Club episode, but it is very much like,
Why?
that's not
It
Raditz.
sucks. I don't love it anymore. I hate
Raditz
it.
is not. Yeah, he is not Vernon. I was trying to think of his name. He is not Vernon.
Yeah, Vernon.
And it's very gross that, like, but it's like one of those, and I know we say like we love that episode, but it's such a filler episode for the sake of nothing. It really does nothing for you to
love that
assassinate.
episode. I don't care.
You
That
don't love
episode.
I love that episode because I love that movie. But yes, it's not a good episode for the show because it really does nothing, and it's just a filler. They assassinated Raditz for no reason.
For no reason. And they're like, oh, by the way, Snake's done with chemo. Mr. Snake is done with chemo.
Mr. Snake is done with chemo. That's it. Yeah.
It's, no, so many people failed Rick. And Rick is a child.
You
Rick
know
is
who
a
else
child.
failed him was his friend, I thought. When it was
Toby?
all over. Yeah, Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Toby,
it was
yeah.
just like, he ain't my friend. Anybody that would listen to him. He ain't my
You
friend.
gotta
He
watch
ain't my
the
friend.
next episode, because Toby's
Does he
actually,
come around?
like, he
Yeah,
goes
he
to his
explains
funeral.
himself. He explains himself a little bit
And
more.
he's
where he's
wrestling
coming
with
from.
the fact that, like, not only is his friend, like, dead, but he had
Mhm.
this friend who he was, like, really clicking with, who then turned into a school shooter.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
think
And so that's, like,
Also,
some double
doesn't
grief
he-
right there.
doesn't he sort of shift a little bit when the reporter comes up to him and is like,
Yeah. And he walks
because that
away
was
when
the
Ashley...
only way that I knew Rick had been killed. I thought
Yeah.
Sean's face looks like Sean just took a bullet. You
well,
know what
they
I
show
mean? Like,
Sean in the office
That's how I
or
knew
the
it
library
was Rick.
with his
'Cause
arm
when-
bandaged for
Yes.
some reason.
He had an arm bandage and he was talking to some people at a table. And
I will
then it
say-
was Emma and who was her parents.
Yes,
Yeah.
Emma. And I will say one thing I didn't notice, and it's in the first part. You know how Rick tags Sean, Spinner, and
Jay's
Jay's cars with the X?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did not realize that when they're in the hallway and
he makes the
and
X.
he makes the X. And I was today years old when I realized,
Yeah,
he's
so he let
trying
him
to
know.
let them know that he did it. I have watched this
Yeah.
show, this
Well, and
episode so many times, and that just clicked to me.
I
Like,
saw that.
that
Yeah.
I really didn't realize.
Why
I
would he
don't know.
do that?
The
he
X's
was
are
really trying to
creepy
get
and foreshadowy to me because
Yeah.
it's like
see,
a target.
I thought it was a misdirect because, like, in the very opening scene where Aubrey and Spinner are screwing with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes from behind the car, and you see Spinner get out of his car, and then he comes from behind the car, and I'm like, oh, this guy's the shooter, and then he takes out the spray paint, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe not.
Okay.
No, he's
That's
not.
because you watched it completely out of context, which I kind of love when that happens.
I do too. It's cute. It's good. I think it's a good that you didn't watch the homework episodes and went into this cold. I
I was
kind of
very
love that.
confused a lot, particularly during that stupid B plot.
The dumb behind.
Yeah,
it's
I
not a
can't
good
with
B
that.
plot.
It's not at
it's
all.
not.
It's
It's
I'm
not.
like, why are they even showing this when they got the bull out here
It's-
walking around with a gun?
It's
Right.
probably
Like,
the
why are they
worst
even
B plot
showing this?
ever. And it's
Right.
like,
In the history of television, maybe.
maybe.
Maybe with a bald guy
Maybe.
leading the way.
Mhm.
He looks like a penis.
He did.
He does. He's
He
channeling
wasn't even
Dr.
cute or
Evil.
nothing. I don't know.
So question, have we exhausted this A plot and this B plot?
I'm just going over my notes real quick before we transition into segments. And
Same,
I do,
actually. Let me
like,
think.
I felt for, like, everybody. Like, it sucked to get shot in the back like that, I'm sure. I feel like Jimmy could have, not to victim blame, but Jimmy could have run smarter.
Yeah, he
Jimmy
should've
could have
ran
run smart.
to the right.
Forrest
Get out
said
of
as
his
soon
line
as
of
Rick
fire.
turned his head, Jimmy should have ran at him, hit him in the nads, grabbed gun.
Oh, you mean just defend himself that
But
way?
my
Yeah.
husband likes to think that he's very tough, which he kind
And
of
I
is.
just,
I just hope we're never. Yeah,
I had
you had what
issues with that.
with
The-
Jimmy?
With Jimmy and the way,
getting-
like, it
Yeah.
was very, very tense, and then the gun goes off, and then he goes, and, like, fell to his, like, is that really how you do that?
You
I
should
don't
see
know.
Terry fall into her coma.
Yeah, it's terrible double work. I personally feel like it wasn't, especially because he closed his eyes and his hand is shaking. It's like you still got like shot by that in a way that like you still, how?
And I think there's also
And
always
one
going to
shot.
be
One
a
shot.
I think there's also always going to be a degree for me where, like, I was watching this at a time where I wasn't thinking about, like, whether or not the acting was good. It was Jimmy got shot. And so,
Yeah.
like, it's always gonna, like, I teared up during this episode, whatever.
I did too. I actually really do like the pacing of this episode. Honestly, even so they have we mentioned that Joey and Caitlin were from the 80s show. But there's also Spike was in the 80s show, Emma's mom. Emma's mom is actually the reason the show exists. And Emma
was born in the 80s show.
Emma was born in the 80s show.
At
Spike was a teen mom. She was a teen
born
mom.
at prom?
I don't think she's born at prom, Caroline.
Well, no, but Spike's water, like, breaks because I remember back in the LimeWire days, I had
Not
a
the
recording of
LimeWire.
Everybody Wants Something that's taking place at a school dance, and then
It
Spike's
is.
water breaks.
Yes.
So Emma was born at prom.
She
with
wasn't,
the Zit Remedy ushering her into the world.
but she's
Shout
not.
out to Sydney for dissing the Zit's Remedy since we're
Right,
not
no
doing
zits,
shots fired.
no remedies. I love her. It's like, but not, do I have a tape playing, but not that demo from your band. No zits, no. Yeah, but Spike does say that people don't get shot at Degrassi. That's not true. People don't shoot other people historically at Degrassi, but a person has shot themselves at Degrassi.
Yeah, but that's different.
It's still shots were fired. We're not having shots fired, but shots have been fired before at Degrassi.
You're firing shots at Claude.
I'm
Who
firing
was the
shots
girl
at
that
Claude.
was saying that? The girl with
That's
the short.
Spike. That's Emma's mom.
That's Spike, Emma's mom, and
who
actually,
had Emma at prom.
do you recognize her?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I
Caitlin,
do.
it was actually her boyfriend Claude, who they had a falling out and everything, but he killed himself on in a Degrassi bathroom. So this. I mean, it's not the same.
Like, fucked
thing.
up things have happened at Degrassi
Yeah,
since the
Degrassi
80s.
is cursed.
They
It
had
is
a student who was HIV positive in the 80s. Like, what?
What? No. More about the shooting. More about the shooting thing than anything. But
No, more about the shooting thing, but I'm just saying, like, even Degrassi 80s high school, there was a lot going on.
there was a lot.
Kids were
going
having
on.
abortions and jumping or falling off of bridges on acid and getting life-wrecking TBIs
Mhm,
and shooting
mhm,
themselves in the bathroom and
mhm,
having
mhm.
Well, we
HIV.
didn't have that in high school. I mean, I was in high school, 88 to 92. No.
Oh, we did, but like I remember
You had
somebody
what?
not at school. We I mean we had suicides and
But not at school.
not at school. Yeah.
I have
We had a
only
couple
ever.
people
That's
die.
I mean that's
Yeah.
kind of why I felt like Rick's parents should have had that gun locked up, because the
Yeah.
greater risk with an unhappy teenager, I think there's a
Right.
much greater risk that he's going to use that gun on himself than on.
Yeah, but it's been established he does not have attentive parents. His dad's always gone. And I think that we have to kind of assume, or that, not that we have to, but that it's reasonable to assume based on how we saw him in his relationship with Terry. Because even when he wasn't like hitting her, he's like, you know, they're out to eat with her friends and she's like, ooh, I think I want a burger. And he's like, why don't you get a salad? You were saying you were craving one the other day. And then has
Yeah.
this poor girl get a side salad, like a garden salad with light
Garden
dressing,
salad.
which is
Yeah,
not
it's-
food.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, is like, let's make a deal. Like, you can talk to Paige and Hazel at school only. And
Mhm.
like just all this
He's
controlling
very
behavior.
controlling.
I think we have to assume that his father is abusive. And I think we
And
have
I
to
mean-
assume that his mother is is a woman who has spent a lot of years in an abusive relationship and is kind of just in her own delusion for
I mean, we have
survival's sake.
we have a tiny bit of evidence of that because Rick's mom, when she's fitting Rick for his whack your brain suit, we have to assume that that's his dad's suit that she's just resizing to fit him. And
She
because
says
she
that,
says
I
that,
think.
she says that she's like, in a year from now, you'll be your father's size. And he kind of
Yes.
makes a noise at that, like he's displeased or whatever. And she says, you know, your dad doesn't like having to be away for a lot. He works a lot or whatever. Like, it's clear that they don't have like a close relationship.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really want to be like him, just with the way
And
that
I
he
think
says
his
your
mom has
father's
probably
size.
checked the fuck
Mhm.
out.
And that would support it because the delusion is so thick, and I would support her being checked out. It just doesn't seem like she's reading any of the rooms that she's in. Like, she's not reading the signs. She's not trying to see anything more than the surface level of what's going on with her child.
Well, where is his dad? Why do we always blame the mom?
We're not
His dad
blaming.
is-
No, the dad is
No,
absolutely
his
to
dad
blame.
is the absenteeism of his father is like,
And the probable abuse.
and the
Rick
probable
shows
abuse,
abusive
yeah.
as fuck behavior in his relationship with Terry beyond just the hitting, and he learned that somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And the most likely answer is in his home.
Yeah.
Fuck
Unfortunately.
Rick's dad. No, I feel for Rick's mom. She is checked the fuck out because Rick's dad sucks. Usually,
And I think,
like,
Yeah, but you know, you got to be strong enough when the dad is messed up and you got a child to raise. You got to try to step up somewhat and just don't check out.
I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. I
You know?
absolutely agree. But
Like, come
And like,
on, lady.
checking out was probably the last thing that Rick needed, especially at this time. He needed an attentive parent. And we have, like, I feel like the most attentive parents we have in the story are like Snake and Spike, where they do see when things occur with Emma. They see when there's issues and when Emma has problems. But like, Rick does not seem to be. It's just like we said earlier, he's been failed on multiple like fronts, like not just his teachers, but also
right,
his family. Like, they
Like-
just don't pay enough attention to him.
Mom, I
What?
was never bullied to the degree that Rick was. But if at any point I had come home and been like, oh yeah, I'm making friends with the popular kids, wait a couple weeks, me and Bess are going to own this school, would you have believed that for a second? Knock it off.
No, but I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have said anything about it. You know, I wouldn't have gone, really.
No, but
Yeah.
you would have like maybe been on the lookout for something mean to happen to us.
Yeah, I feel like, Mom, you were definitely, you
Yeah.
knew where I was at. You knew I wasn't like popular, but you knew I wasn't like at the end of the totem pole. Like, I had friends and stuff,
Yeah.
but like if I had came home and told you that I was running, like I did have spurts when like the popular kids, quote unquote, like paid more attention to me and wanted to be my friend because I'm the shit. And it just didn't end up being my permanent friend group. I know I had times where like, I think I told you when that girl who was also named Beverly came over my
Yeah.
house to swim in the pool. I was like, Mom, she's like the coolest girl in our grade. Like, this has got to work. Like, you
I remember, and you know it's crazy because I remember feeling like that too when I was in school. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, when I was in school, cliques and popularity and all that stuff was definitely a thing. So I understood that. I felt like I
Yeah.
was sympathetic to you with that, wasn't I?
No, yeah, you did. I feel like I was
I didn't-
always
Maybe I
no.
should have told you you shouldn't give a damn about none of them.
No, yeah, you definitely didn't tell me you shouldn't give a damn, but you didn't say like, oh, you need to get in with these people. It was more like whatever you want to do kind of thing. Like if you want these to be your friend, these people to be your friend, like that's as long as they're good people, you know, like that's fine. But
Oh, I like that advice that I gave you.
that's
What a good mother you are, Beverly.
That's what, yeah, it wasn't, I definitely didn't feel pressured to be like any sort of like popular or whatever. Like I did theater, you guys all showed out for that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, and you had to have known that theater was not like, wasn't cheerleading or anything. Like I did cheerleading that you had to pay for when I was
like,
younger.
you're gonna have
and then
friends. Like
I had
they're just
friends,
gonna be
it just-
theater friends.
they were theater
And
friends. I
some
was
theater
not
friends
in homecoming
are some
court.
theater
I was
kids
not,
are fucking freaks though.
oh my gosh, there were, okay, I found
And I'm
out
not
about
ahead.
some stuff happening in the backstage wings that I
Right.
would have never thought was happening with these. Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, no, theater
Everybody got
kids
their
are
stuff with them
freaks.
now. Yeah,
Theater
everybody
kids
got
and
their
band kids are freaks. Just saying, if
I
y'all,
think it's
yeah,
because
Hi.
they get a different kind of like
please
I don't
watch
know.
out. Please
They're
watch out for your kids.
nerdy as fuck, and they're not
It's-
super supervised because they're the
Right.
good kids.
Because they're
Yes.
nerdy. Yeah.
Yes, like you wouldn't
And
think
so
that the
they're
nerdy
just, you know,
kids are
finger
doing
banging
any
in
of
the
that.
back of the bus, whatever it happens, apparently.
Jesus. Oh, I
Yeah,
hate
I
that
was, you
expression.
know, like
what
I think
would you
for
prefer to call it, Mother? What did you call it in the 70s?
I probably that.
but to hear
You
it
don't
from
know
your
because you
child's
weren't the
mouth
band kid
is,
getting finger banged in the back of the bus.
Huh?
I don't want to know the answer to that.
It was the huh. It was the huh for me. But like you did like lacrosse, right? And like no,
Yes.
field hockey. You did field hockey and lacrosse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was the cool girls in my school did field hockey and lacrosse and cheerleading.
Yeah, that
So
kind of
you
thing
were
got me
you were
friendly
cool
with everybody.
if you did all those.
Like,
yeah.
like I had my core group of friends, and it was us. You
Mhm.
know, my core group.
Yes, your core group.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then I was friendly with other folks because I played like hockey and lacrosse, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do no theater. I sung chorus. A lot of people sung chorus.
Yes. I missed that chorus train. I know it was a family
That
thing.
was like
I
a
did
fun
flute
thing to
instead.
do. Yeah.
I did flute instead and then quit flute because
It's
I'm
hard.
not good at flute. I'm not good at
Didn't
flute.
You
sell
played
that
the flute, right, Mom?
Yeah.
Huh? I did play flute.
I did too
I was
for a
also
little
not
bit.
good.
Me neither. It was funny. I wound up selling mine, and I think did you
have
sell
to
yours?
just blow it so
If we
just
didn't
right,
rent it, I think we
like
rented that one. Yeah, you
flutes
gotta
are
have that
dumb.
like lip and mouth and tongue placement. Like it's like
yeah, you either have the mouth for it or you don't. I feel like
yeah, no, not my
That's it,
thing.
never
Let me see my notes if I've got anything else. Oh, mono. I'm gonna take us back to
Yes.
this B plot for a second.
Yes.
yeah.
I
did
realized
Craig
that
hook
like
up with Heather
Craig
Sinclair.
hooked up with Heather Sinclair.
Is that what we're meant to infer from that?
I think so, yes, because Heather Sinclair is off the Whack Your Brain team because she has mono, and that's why Jimmy is on the Whack Your Brain team. And Craig is home with sweaty palms, a fever, and like sore throat. And that's all the symptoms of mono.
So,
Craig
okay.
hooked up with Craig in the.
I have to believe that how Paige describes Heather Sinclair is not wholly accurate because
Mhm.
Craig's making out with her and
We know Craig's got some sort of standard.
Rick's got her as number 2 on his list.
She's hot, yeah. She's hot.
Paige just doesn't like her. Did she get a bargain basement
Paige-
nose job?
Paige doesn't like her because she's probably her stock is like a little bit higher. That's why Paige doesn't like her. And she's got to talk shit about her because
We'll
But
get
this
to
is
that
the
because I
time
want to
when
talk about.
overplucked eyebrows were like the thing, though. So it's not like the thinner your eyebrows were, the closer to God. So it's
Right.
not.
No, we're gonna talk. We're gonna get to the Heather Sinclair hypothesis.
Yes,
But-
we got the whole thing to break down. I love our Heather Sinclair hypothesis. But yes,
But
That
are
was
we
just-
ready
that
to
was
move
my
to the
last-
fashion corner?
yeah, that was my last thing in the deep dive. Moms, do you have anything else to add to the deep dive before we head on to our our segments?
The only thing I really thought of when I was watching that I didn't mention is just, and Caroline, you mentioned it in a little bit in the paragraph that I read, is just the parallels to Carrie. Like the
Yeah.
writers were definitely had Carrie on the brain because that same thing. Carrie thought maybe she was coming out of her shell, she was getting friends, she was going to be included
Yeah.
with popular people, and this is what that poor boy thought. And they lit him up and got him
the
all
glory.
yeah.
He got the
And then
glory with
dumped
the whack
stuff
your
on
brain,
him.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
right. And with her,
Yeah.
she was prom queen. She's like, oh my gosh,
She was prom queen.
I'm prom queen. Right. They set him
Yeah.
up high on the thing, and then boom, come down fast
Yeah.
when that stuff come hitting at you. And
Mhm.
instead of using his mind to create a fire and kill everybody, he went home, got the gun, and was like, I'm coming
got the
back.
Glock.
Kill everybody. Right. That was a big gun for that little boy too, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he didn't even look right with it in his hand. Like that's too big for him. But
Yeah.
I was thinking that, like, I don't know what the writers, they must have been in the Carrie mood that day with that move with that those episodes.
Yeah, it was definitely. One
Yeah.
of my notes is this is giving Carrie at the prom vibes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it's
I love
very.
that. And I mean, like, I think that the pacing feels like I love horror. I think I've said it on the show enough times that our listeners know, but Carrie always feels like such a fever dream of a story to me. The way that 70s De Palma movie is shot, like it feels so like kind of how maybe teenagers see the world, like all like hazy and just like not quite in touch and everything. And I feel like this episode feels a little bit like that. They get that sort of like not quite in, like it's a different sort of pacing
like,
than
they
other
lay-
episodes.
They lay on kind of thick. Like, it's believable that
Mhm.
Jimmy helped set shit up just by like the way that he's talking to Rick in the bathroom.
It is believable, yeah. You're kind of left like not sure if what you saw was really like how things happen. Like if what Jay and Spinner said is really what could have occurred, because Jimmy is really kind of acting sus through this whole storyline.
But he's not. Like,
but
and I
he's
don't
not.
feel like you as the viewer question it, but I understand Rick's
Rick's
looking back
questioning it,
over
yeah.
the last 48 hours and being like,
Yeah,
has this whole thing just been a setup?
right.
See, the Carrie vibe is a little bit where it fell apart for me.
Mhm.
Not because that wasn't good or well executed, but with Carrie, there was a lot more context. There was a reason that like there was a callback to why dumping pig's blood on her, like what that was calling back to, which is, you know, I don't know how long ago people have seen Carrie, but
Yeah.
it's real. It made a huge impression on me as a young person when I saw
Yeah.
it. That just
Me
the
too.
One of my
horror of
favorites. One of my
getting your
favorites.
period, not
Mhm.
knowing what's happening to you.
Like the blood being significant. Yeah.
The blood was really a callback to that.
Right.
And then
What is a
I didn't
chicken?
feel
Oh, chicken
right, a
boy. Oh,
chicken,
chicken boy.
and I'm going through the whole thing thinking that they dumped peanut butter on him. So it didn't quite land for me, partially because of that
Yeah.
Carrie connection. And then also, like, and I know I'm comparing a movie to 2 episodes of a television show, and that's probably wrong, but in Carrie, you also have that aspect where her home life is an absolute nightmare, and it's exquisitely
And we get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
I wish we got
religious
more. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Rick home life.
I
But
think
he
it's
said
It
it sounded like
doesn't
his
probably
home
seem
life was a
great.
whole mess too, though.
It doesn't seem great, but we just don't get what
Yeah,
we would
we don't
need
know,
to
right?
kind of
You're
make
trying to
that sort
piecing it
and
together.
I do
Yeah.
get what you're saying, Amy, about it kind of falling apart when you take him to like put him in that Carrie space, because there's like not the payoff that we get with Carrie. It's like we
Mhm.
understand and we're with Carrie on why she is empowered to like fuck all their shit up. But in this instance, it's like Rick is not necessarily, I empathize with him because I understand as someone who's been bullied and that sort of realm, but I don't really understand him outside of like, or not even
So-
him, but just like the thematic of like dumping the yellow paint and the feathers on him. Like, what is that significance? Why that?
I
And they
think
Well,
that
yeah.
part of it is that that's just a really easy prank to rig.
Yeah.
So easy that Spinner and Jay can do it.
And didn't he only call him Chicken Boy in this episode?
Mm-hmm.
He's only been chicken. Like, where did he get that from? And then it, like, of course, they have him be like cover him in yellow paint and feathers. So, oh chicken boy, like, where did?
Yeah,
It was
no,
not present
it's
before this episode. Yeah.
it's not. It's just because of the paint and the feathers. Spinner's sucks.
So they do try to make a tie-in. I totally think that the writers had Carrie on the brain, because if they didn't, they wouldn't try to make that tie-in of oh chicken boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't try because
I
would
think
just
it's obvious that they had
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's
Carrie on
obvious
the
that they had
brain.
care, but they tried to bring it full circle where they're like you said, the blood and the menstrual blood, the pig's blood and the menstrual blood. They're trying to make it like that's his nickname. He's Chicken Boy, but you just started calling him Chicken Boy at the top of the episode, and that doesn't count.
And now all of a sudden, yeah, you're trying to make
Should
it look
it
like
have been like a bucket of cinder blocks instead?
Just toss him. Yes, gather all ye cinder blocks and. No, wait,
That
just
sounds
one cinder
dangerous.
block. Just one cinder block. And Alex is going to feel so bad about that. She's going to need to talk to Miss
Yeah.
Sauvé. Yeah, no, it's definitely.
I just feel with both characters, there's a sense of for what they've been through. I mean, you
Mhm.
can't, you don't want to condone it because innocent people got hurt in both
Yeah.
situations too, right? So, I mean, you don't go and do that kind of thing to retaliate. Same thing. I was definitely bullied as a child, and I guess the most retaliation I probably ever did was maybe got into some fights and tried to fight back. Probably some of those I won, some of those I lost, but
But
that's
you didn't have the ability to start fires with your mind either.
right. It might have been a different
Maybe if you
outcome.
did.
Or maybe if I had access to a gun. No, you didn't. Back
Yeah.
then, there was nothing like that. But right, if I could have started fires with my mind, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I don't think I would ever shoot somebody, but one of the reasons
trying to
that I
shoot me.
don't have a gun is I don't want the ability to. And like I would
I-
definitely never like actively carry a gun because
Yeah. Guns scare me.
I have a flair for drama. And I feel
You
things
said
really
you have a-
intense. And the
But
wrong
you
No,
got a
way,
you
like
good
I
head.
don't
Nah,
think
you
that I
got a
ever
good head
would,
on
but
your
I don't
shoulder.
want the ability to.
I am so I really do feel like we have a gun in the house. It is separate from the bullets. I have been to the shooting range to use it, but I feel like I get afraid of that gun. Like I'm like I don't want to really be in a situation where I have to use it, you know? Like
I don't
beyond
like knowing that
being
I'm
at the
in a
shooting.
home with a gun.
Trust me, I don't either, Caroline. I've only had to do this because my girlfriend has been in one, she has an attitude about guns that I don't have, and I've just recently been like, okay, a necessary evil, will have it in the house, but I don't want to deal with it. But I would have never took it upon myself to have a gun in the house if it wasn't for my partner. It's not my thing. I am very afraid of my capabilities with a gun. I know people shoot guns and guns don't shoot themselves, but it's
I
just as
don't
me.
want. It's like it's not even. It's I hate calling things intrusive thoughts, but it is like
Yeah, I have a lot of intrusive thoughts about that gun. Trust me.
like I don't want to know that it's there.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
think
want.
about it being there because my mind has recently changed about all of that. I was definitely the same way you two were, where I don't need a gun around. I don't like guns,
Mhm.
but just things have gotten crazy in our world today. So my mind has changed a little bit. Like I need to have this thing put to the side just in
Yeah.
case somebody try to come at me, because that is when I feel like the only time is in self-defense. If somebody's trying to harm me, or kill me, I'm gonna try to defend myself, and that's why I want a gun around
Yeah.
now at this time in my life. I mean, even
I
5-10 years ago, I lived in a house by myself when Avis was away at college. I would have never thought of even having anything like that for protection.
I
You
mean,
had
part of it
Pepper was your protection.
part
Pepper
of
the
it too
cat.
for me is definitely that like my gun experience is like my dad had them because he hunted, but they were
Mhm.
locked up in the garage. I never really saw them. My brothers had BB guns. I never
Yeah.
really went around the guns. And then I got robbed at gunpoint when I was in my 20s. And like those
Oh,
are my
whoa.
gun experiences. And so I'm just
Caroline, I know you
like I
told me
had a
this
gun to
before,
my head and like it was the scariest thing that's ever
Yeah.
happened to me.
I would empty all my bowels promptly. And
I
probably my bladder too.
Nah, dude, my mom and I had been fighting for a couple of weeks. It was that fight that dad tried to fix by reading me the card that Charlie wrote. Where like and I was figuring shit out and I had all the anger of my early 20s and my mom and I had been fighting and like for like a couple of weeks the only times that we had talked it was like me calling her to be like and here's another way you're a shitty mom. And then I had a gun to my head and all I could think about was that my last several words to my mom had been just absolutely vile and I was going to die.
I'm so
Sorry,
sorry
this
that
turned into
happened.
Caroline's therapy corner.
This has been Trauma Corner. Featuring Caroline.
This is
I
it's a
forget that I have gun
subject
trauma
that
because
brings
it's
this
been
up.
so long and it's
Yeah.
not like a thing that I think about. And I don't have school shooting trauma, but I do have gun trauma. They scare me. I don't like them.
Guns scare me too.
I'm
They
so
really
sorry,
do
you
scare.
guys.
Don't
No.
be
You don't
don't
have
be
to. You
sorry.
don't.
Never
No.
apologize for your emotions. I think it's so scary. I can't even fathom being having a gun to my head is
I have a
terrifying.
different
Like,
feeling now if something like
I
that
was
happened to me.
I was gonna say if something like that happened to me, I would look at gun and I already look at guns with so much terror, but like also respect because I know that like it's just something so powerful that I really don't want to mess with. until even picking up one to go into the shooting range. I mean, Cillian will tell you I was very emotional, like holding it up. It was heavy in my hands, and she had to be like behind me holding me because I never thought I would shoot a gun. The only time I swore I would ever shoot a gun is in like the apocalypse. And she was like, you don't want to learn how to shoot a gun in the apocalypse. I'm just telling you. You want to know how to shoot a gun before that. You want to know how to shoot a gun before that. But I am so terrified.
That's very
of
good
them,
advice,
so
probably.
probably, yeah.
But
no,
I don't want
I don't. The fact that I've held a gun, I never thought I would. In any other situation but the apocalypse, they absolutely terrify me, Caroline, and I don't know if I would be able to talk about it and not cry. So definitely please don't apologize.
No,
for
it
that.
was just like
it's
off
okay.
topic,
That happens.
and sometimes this show
I mean, but
becomes
that's
about
on
Caroline's
topic.
trauma, apparently.
Okay,
I
but
guess
that's
it is
on topic.
topic.
Like,
yeah.
you can think about how, like, you understand how it feels to be like, and I mean that happens in the next
No,
episode.
and that's the
Dawn
thing is
just
like, fuck
talking about
Emma.
being so close to the gun. Like,
Fuck Emma, but like I do feel for Emma, and
yeah,
all of
he
the like
pointed the gun
fucked up
right at
trauma
me.
response that's
Yeah.
gonna come
Oh yeah,
from
Oh, yeah.
her. Like,
yeah. No, I don't blame
no,
Emma
it
for her trauma
changes
response.
you.
It's I can't deny that any sort of like, and not even that your life flashes before your eyes, but just that like you can't even understand that like what it's like when people say the sentence "a gun pointed at you" until it's pointed at you and you really know how it feels.
right.
Like
Yeah.
I still don't, and I don't ever want to know how that feels. So,
I
Like,
don't
like,
want you
will.
to ever know how that feels, babe. Please
but
don't.
that's fucking terrifying, and it's traumatic. Like I know that we bullshit a lot about just the events that happen in the show, but it's extremely any sort of incident with a gun or in a safe space, like, or just in your like going about your day, like you never think that that these things are going to happen to you, and sometimes they do, and it's just terrifying.
Yeah.
And I really don't think that, for me, I don't understand situations until most situations like sort of like this until I'm in it.
You
I don't
can't.
ever
Like,
want
you
to be
can
in it.
have.
I don't ever want to be in this shit ever.
You can have empathy for it, and you can
Right.
like comprehend that like you don't know how scary that has to be.
Right.
You know that it's scary, but it's scary.
It's scary.
And yeah, especially in a safe place like your school.
Mhm.
I was in my fucking bedroom with my friends, having come home from the bar to like hang out and smoke some weed.
Jesus. And I've done that so many times, dude. I know that feeling of being like, oh, like we've had a long night, kick off your shoes, and like now we can like wind down a little bit, still have a little bit of fun, but like, and then to come back to that, that's so, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay, but you guys, I still hate Emma, though.
You can
Fuck
still
Emma,
hate
though.
Emma. Fuck Emma,
No,
though.
no,
But
so-
I feel for her in this.
Her traumatic journey is, I don't blame her for that, but like everything else, she can fucking suck a whole corn on
She's
the
an
cob.
asshole. A traumatic thing happened to her. And she's an asshole
She's an
anyway.
asshole.
She was an
Well,
asshole before a traumatic thing happened to her. She's always
This
been
is
an
the other
asshole.
thing that I was gonna say about Emma
Mm-hmm.
is like, okay, so I've only watched the first few episodes of the first season,
Mm-hmm.
and there's that episode where she goes to a hotel with somebody she met on the internet, and
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't, but when you hear shots fired,
Mm-hmm.
and
you
she
walk
heads
towards
she
it.
heads right toward it, and so now she's not like
The
so
three,
I just
yeah.
No, that's
she's not just
The three
implicating
major
or putting
characters,
herself
yeah.
in danger. She's putting two other people in danger because she's stupid.
well,
the
and I
three
think
major
that's something
characters-
that we said
Right.
in the pilot is like not to victim blame, but Emma's a fucking idiot in these situations.
she
Like,
is not
you
good
need
under
a grown
pressure.
ass man in the lobby
under-
who knows your
yeah.
name. He has one pizza for like multiple teenage boys.
This is one pizza, and it's not a big pizza. It's a
He
small
takes you to his room. He knocks on the door to the adjoining room and says, "Guys, pizza's here." And there is no response from this room
There is
allegedly
no
full of
movement.
teenage boys.
There is no movement. There is no nothing. You can't hear anything. Like, this is a hotel. You're gonna hear the people next door.
And then she's
If
clutching to
that
her
room
piece
was
of
full
pizza
of
for dear
rambunctious
life the
teen
whole
boys.
fucking time. It's
Mr.
Yeah.
Snake saved the day in that one too, huh?
Mr. Snake did save
Mr.
the day. That was
Snake.
before he was her
So
dad.
this is basically the story of how Mr.
Of
Snake
how Mr.
is
Snake-
always bailing out Emma's stupid ass.
Yes.
Yeah. It's everybody's stupid ass. Sean stole his cancer laptop and he was still like, you know, I'm going to help
but
you out.
I have a problem with the fact that it has to consistently be Snake. If Snake has an all fucking day, what are y'all gonna do? What are you gonna do?
We pretend it didn't happen like the time
Or
that he made out
Toby,
with Miss
Because
Hot
Toby
Sauce.
played a very vital like cyber role in helping Emma in that first episode. So if Toby was having an off day, if this shit wasn't working right, like Emma would have just been like scarred for life.
If Manny had
Or
been
if
the friend
Toby
Emma
was just
deserves.
or if Manny wasn't a real one.
I'm sick of dealing with Emma's bullshit.
Amy, you're like, I've been in it for a couple episodes and I'm sick of Emma's.
No, I'm saying, what if Toby had just been like,
Oh,
he
okay,
had
no.
just met Emma
No, I
at
was
this
gonna
point.
say-
He had just met her.
But he should already be like, this is a red flag, and I don't.
Right, you are red flag central. You are not
You are
somebody I
red
need
flag.
to.
You are tore up from the floor up, and I do not want to be
Well, but
involved
Toby's a
in
baby
this mess.
incel, which means that Toby's a little baby white knight, so he
Oh,
needs
right.
an Emma to save.
Toby has a solid crush on Emma in the beginning of the show, so like a very solid. It has to be like killed with a kill shot to the head crush to Emma. So he might not be operating in the beginning of the show with a full deck of cards. That's possible.
It is possible. Oh,
But-
Tobes.
Oh, Tobes. Oh, little boy.
But should we move on to the fashion corner?
Yeah. Did you guys take note of fashion, moms? Moms, did you take note of fashion?
I thought Emma looked like the girl in Clueless.
Okay,
Was
so
it,
yes, there was Cher.
Cher.
You thought-
Thank
You
you.
thought she looked like Cher. Oh, with her
With her, like, patchwork skirt.
yeah. That skirt
It's
was
very
just-
of the times.
her I call it her shooting outfit, Emma's shooting outfit, with the olive green.
Did you
like
notice,
coordinate-
Avis,
Mm-hmm.
that jacket's the one that Liberty is wearing in the episode with Chris?
Ooh.
I'm like
I
90.
thought it looked familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, so how are you gonna say that she's a geek and you're wearing the same? Yeah, I can't.
It's called
I
low
can't.
budget costume.
No, they're all outfit repeaters. It's fine.
You are an outfit repeater. Yeah. What else?
The only thing I really noticed fashion-wise was that Rick's mother did him no favors with that suit.
She did
Ooh.
do him no favors with that suit. Avis, I'm sending
The
you
tailoring-
Liberty's shirt right now.
Like that.
The tailoring of that suit was abysmal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you should not send your child out into the world like that.
Well, and
Looking
like how
like a
casual
dress-up.
everybody else
Yeah.
is.
What,
Huh?
Caroline?
How casual everybody else is.
Right. I saw
Yeah,
like when
that's
Chris
my
goes in, he's got
problem.
like shorts and a backpack on. And
Jimmy's in athleisure.
Yeah.
He is an
Yeah, if that was-
athleisure,
if
though.
Under Armour was a thing back then, that would have been Jimmy.
Mhm. It's not a good. So I think his thing is like triple X soul or triple 5 soul.
Triple
whatever.
5 soul.
Whatever. It is triple 5 soul. I don't think that nobody in this episode, like, the fashion does not warrant this. Whack Your Brain competition does not warrant a 3-piece suit. essentially, almost a
No.
3-piece suit, a 2-piece suit. It
Like,
does
He
he
was
not.
could've
trying to look
worn-
nice for Emma.
But that's not
remember
how
when
you
he
do
was
that in
walking
high school
over-
if it's not a fucking formal dance.
Right.
That's just
That's
not
why
how
it
you
was
do
it
that.
was weird. But I think he was doing it for Emma.
Oh, he was.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give a shout out to Sydney. She looks very like in the first scene where we see her when like Joey comes home and she's making Craig tea. And it's just she's got this like beige blazer on and a striped shirt and like she's just very casual. I love Sydney.
I love Sydney too. I think
I wish
that
she could have just adopted Craig and Joey and Caitlin could have run off to Haiti together.
How do you feel about younger men?
That made me cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
That was a little
Yeah.
icky.
He does these.
I forgot about that part. Never mind, I take it back because now it's got creepy, groomy
He
vibes
does
to
these,
it.
He literally does it so often though, where he does these little quips about, yeah, oh, this is the same shirt or the same blazer. I don't think you guys can see it, but
no, I
it
told
is.
you it's the same.
But she just has it rolled up. Her sleeves are rolled up, so that's why I can't tell. But the way that she has it zippered is the same but different. That would explain why Liberty and Marco and Manny are not in this episode.
That's interesting. None of them are in this episode.
Yeah, Manny was just casually missing in action.
Why wouldn't Liberty be part of Whack Your Brain?
Why wouldn't Liberty be part of Whack Your Brain? That makes no sense.
Liberty knows
She's
everything.
the resident smart character, yeah. But they definitely take a couple and we don't see their reactions to it or anything. Like they're just
How do you feel about Hazel's outfit?
I don't like it.
It's definitely memorable.
Which one is
memorable.
Hazel is
she's
Jimmy's girlfriend.
Oh,
she's the one that.
Yeah, see, they had her crying hard.
Yeah,
she was crying hard.
I am a fan of the butterfly. I'm not a fan.
I remember
of the
those
dazzled
butterfly. Yeah.
And the crop top over a tank top.
And the scrunchy.
The scrunched. It's a lot of things are happening. The sleeves are like
not my favorite.
Yeah,
not my
it's
favorite
not great.
outfit. I love her hair though.
I do. I love her hair.
Her hair is beautiful. I do love Paige's outfit. Paige's outfit is a standout for me. I love the way that they're putting her. Yeah, the little flowy purple shirt.
Yeah, I like that shirt.
Is very cute on her.
I remember that shirt.
I got a shout out to the real estate agent, the first one. I'm gonna start dressing like that. I would sell so many more houses.
Wait, you guys said Paige was a little grandma?
No, the real estate agent.
The first real estate agent.
Oh yes, we still have business to finish. I love that lady.
So comforting.
Yes.
Yeah, but she's
I gotta start making dinner because.
Okay, well we're wrapping up, so you can wait a little bit longer.
Well, can I just make dinner while we talk?
Yeah, but you got to put yourself on mute some because you're gonna be making so much noise, which means so much work for Avis.
I already made a mental note that I have to edit this on multi-track, so I will just have to mute out.
Do you have any more fashion though, babe?
I did, but hang on. Oh, okay. I liked Paige's addition over top of her purple top. The the really weird Cheetah Girls looking collared
jacket. We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it's been out of style for a while. And can I say her hair looks so much better this episode?
Yes.
Her hair looks so much better this episode.
I noticed that Rick's mom looked like June Cleaver.
A little bit, yeah.
She was giving.
And she tailored her husband's suit for her son like that. And let that boy go out the house.
Right. I did have to shout out, hang on, the fact that Craig and Ashley look like Bobbsey twins.
Yeah, that's kind of
they're-
their thing right now.
That's
'Cause
kind of their
Ashley's an
thing right now.
amoeba. It's true.
It's yeah. And I think that's this is an outfit repeat on Ellie with the gauzy black and red shoulder shirt, but
It is
I like
always
it.
an outfit repeat on Ellie.
She's got like
Always.
3 pieces, and she just like
She's got 3 looks, and that's it.
she's got 3 looks, and that's it. Yeah, that was it for me.
Okay, so I don't think we made it like we've mentioned it, but we didn't necessarily like declare it. We're not doing shots fired this week, even though there were some good insults in there. It did not feel right. So
shots fired with this episode, yeah.
Yeah, enough shots were fired in the
Enough
source
shots,
material.
literal shots were
Yeah.
fired, and yeah.
But I do
Not
want to
necessary.
talk about Heather Sinclair because I may have to eat my words because Heather Sinclair was out with mono, right?
Yeah.
You know who we didn't see at all these 2 episodes was Scooter Girl.
We
Who
did not.
we did see was the girl that I hypothesized in Islands in the Stream. The like 30-year-old high school student. We did see her. I don't know if we saw the overplucked baddie or not.
I didn't see the overplucked baddie.
I didn't see her. So Scooter Girl still in the running, really strong contender. Overplucked baddie, jury's
so.
still out. She's more
Less
nondescript looking. Like I feel like she could have been there
She
and I
could
could have
blend
missed
in.
her.
Yeah, there was a tall blonde that walked in the background that I saw, and she had like really like gelled looking hair.
That's the 30-year-old chick.
Yeah, yep. Oh, right, that 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. We know all these extras at this point. Got it.
30-year-old extras walking around.
But Heather Sinclair could still be
high school student.
If there's an extra that looks to be in her like late 20s to early 30s.
Y'all really do examine this show.
We do.
They really do.
We've been looking.
Like you guys are all talking about fashion, and I am so fashion impaired that I'm just like.
No, I think we're good to slide into our shining stars and super bummers.
Yeah, should we start with Shining Stars?
Shining stars.
Jimmy,
Snake.
Sean, Snake.
Jimmy. Yeah.
Definitely Jimmy. Snake, Snake saved the day. Who was Sean again?
Sydney
Sean's the
for
one
coming.
who stopped Rick from shooting Emma.
Yeah.
Also,
that was Sean.
Sydney. Yeah,
That was
Sydney
Sean.
for coming in and trying to sell Joey's fucking house.
Right. And Sydney we're never gonna see again.
We're never. Yeah, this is it for Sydney. We love her, but then that means we're one step closer to not having Joey in the show. So yay! No.
also,
That's really how I feel, though.
like Grandma Realtor. I think she was a shining star.
We have a rule of plot device versus character, and you have to be a character, not a plot
You have to be a
device.
character, yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say, Sydney told him he should have a pie baking. That Grandma Realtor would have baked the pie for him.
She would have had a pie baking in the oven, or at the very least, a pie scented candle.
Yep.
She would have made it happen for him.
Did anybody else shine?
Not for me. I feel like that's.
I think, I can't think.
Am I missing anybody? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No. So that means everybody else is
Yeah.
Emma. Emma, Spinner, Jay, Alex, Radich.
We should let the moms throw in some input before
sorry.
we just rapid fire them all.
Sorry.
You into this
Well,
episode, Avis?
No, I
I just really hate Emma and Jay and Steph.
Yeah,
Alex,
me too.
but I didn't know her name. Like they all behaved really badly.
Yeah, just a dark
the
haired
four
girl.
of y'all suck.
Yeah.
They do.
I
They do
would
that.
say the dad sucked because he couldn't keep hold on to his house.
Yeah,
leaving a
Joey
gun
sucked.
out.
No, she's talking about Joey.
No, she's
Oh, you're talking about
Joey.
Joey.
The bald
Joey,
man.
yes. No, the
Subplot.
bald man too. The bald man too.
Yeah,
I
like,
was throwing it at
he's
Rick's
talking about
dad, even
having his
though.
kids living in a dealership when he sell his house.
And
Like,
Craig
nah,
was
Dad.
right when he said he'd sell it for beads. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm
there's
gonna
really only
ask.
one more
So-
question to ask. Does it go
Does
there?
it go there?
Does it go there?
Yes.
Yes.
For the time, I would say yes. Absolutely.
See, okay.
I had jaw dropping moments, sad, cover my mouth.
Yeah, I guess that it depends. My first reaction was that it did not. Partly because of the Carrie comparison, and also that B plot was just distracting. It was like stupid
true.
and distracting.
It was.
And I guess for me, like, did it make me feel things? Not a whole lot. Because Drake is not good at getting shot.
Oh, snap.
Um, but after talking about it more with you guys, I think maybe begrudgingly, I think it does maybe go there.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. And B plot was just so stupid.
Yeah.
It was.
Which
Yeah,
is
it definitely
not your
distracted
fault.
from the seriousness and the reality of the way kids have got to go to school at that time, this time.
Yeah.
What they go through. That B plot was not needed. But for me, I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess it's just still when a kid is desperate enough and bullied enough to take a gun to school and try to kill his enemies. That's
Yeah.
Some other people have failed along the way, I think, at that point.
yeah.
I think the
Just
bullying
sad
for me went
situation.
there.
Yeah. It
The
brought
bullying
back times of
definitely went there.
being bullied myself. And Avis, I know you were saying too. I thought of the bullying I know you went through. So I'm just glad they try to take pay a little bit more attention to it now. Because in those days they definitely did not.
Yeah.
It got blown off the way the teacher blew it off. So
Right, like just be tougher and just.
But it definitely seems like they take a stronger stance with it nowadays.
I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we get to the cyberbullying.
I
Like
can't
we
even
get
imagine that.
You can't ever escape it. Yeah. Especially now. You can't just turn off your phone now.
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, you can, but as a teenager,
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't grow up with a screen like that in my face.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Well, thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
moms.
We love you so much, and this has been like
Thanks for
crazy that
making
this
us
happened.
like.
Thanks for putting up. Right.
I know,
First
this
of
was
all,
fun.
thanks for making us and putting up with us and enabling us to make a podcast. And yeah,
You're good,
Avis, you
Donna.
wanna-
I love your beach shirt.
Oh, thank you.
That's very cool.
Is it a The
And I love
Office
beats.
shirt or is it just a
Yeah,
beach
it's a-
shirt?
No, it says beats and sweats for dinner, but I got it in the office thing.
Nice. Thanks for listening to your mom's Pahdcast. Next week, we will be joined by tattoo artist, Canadian, and Degrassi fan Michaela Woods to discuss how we don't spend nearly enough time exploring Toby and Sean's trauma in Back in Black. This episode of Your Mom's Pahdcast was made possible in part by Sherwin-Williams, Students Against Violence, and support from listeners like you.
just got that Sherwin-Williams. Caroline, you're a mess.
I know, I couldn't not, though. I couldn't not.
Okay, I'm ending.
We'd like to take a moment to say thank you to our Patreon subscribers. Miranda Bickers,
June Bard,
Margot Mancini,
Octavia Faith.
and an extra special thank you to our Titty Snake producer, Alyka Fenderson. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Ew, I hate how I said thank you. Thank you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Pahdcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Pahdcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Pahdcast. Pahdcast. Thank you.